And welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, let me cast a wonderful spell on this fantastic indie animation day as I talk to a wonderful animator and just a wonderful person with a conversation I know you guys are going to absolutely love. Today's guest is Bre Navickas, a story artist and revisionist, podcaster, and creator of the magical fantasy indie animated series, The Three Tomes. I have been paying attention to Bre and what they've been able to do for the past couple of years or so, as you'll hear when we start the conversation, but especially whenever The Three Tomes came out, I knew I had to get them on to talk about just the creativity and the fun that pilot has more than anything else. So I will say, if you guys have not watched the pilot before now, pause this video, go watch the pilot, then get back here and enjoy a fantastic conversation today. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know, I see that stuff. You know, it genuinely warms my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out the merch shop on fourthwall.com. We have some sensational designs as done by some amazing artists, including the return of the ugly Christmas sweaters to go alongside with our wonderful holiday sale. Go to the link in the description below, check out the merch shop, and then when you're done at checkout, use code HOLLYJOLLY, all capital letters, no spaces, and you will get 10% off of your order today. And hey, if you order right now, you should be able to get your stuff just in time for the holidays. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Thank you so much for even taking the time to do this in the first place. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. Are you wearing one of Tariq's shirts?
I am wearing one of Tariq's shirts.
Okay, sorry. I was like, that looks like my friend's thing.
Well, I mean, he is also a buddy of mine. Plus, I will say I have had him on this podcast before, so it wouldn't be too far out of the realm of possibility.
That is fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Plus, I knew that not only are you guys buddies, but like you've worked on each other's projects. So it's like I feel like of all the things I could wear, I felt like this was the most fitting thing to wear for the episode. You know.
He's also given a speech at my wedding because we're that.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet to hear more than anything else. No, I mean, I've seen Tariq at because I met him in person at MomoCon, so like that's like the base where I know him best more than anything else. So yeah. Wow, words, they've evaded me. Come back to me. All right, there we go. We're good.
All good.
Look,
it's all good. I have the ADHD neurodivergency, so I get it.
Look,
I have anxiety disorder and I have ADHD. Totally.
No, that is, again, valid in the move. Look, as a professional podcaster, there's nothing professional about what I'm doing, so words could easily slip me in a moment's notice more than anything else. But like I said, no, sincerely, thank you for taking the opportunity to do this in the first place. This is an absolute blast, and I am excited to talk about the Three Tomes, among many other things that we'll definitely talk about for the episode.
Of course.
Absolutely. All right, Bre, before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a deserted island on your own accords. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to really enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say stranded island, more like more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit. I saw the look in your eyes, and I don't think I've ever gotten that reaction when I initially said that, or if I have, it's whenever the people have their cameras off. But regardless, it's a, you have all the amenities, like you're nice and comfortable. But to make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you could bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Ooh, it might be. It would probably have to be Fruits Basket, I would say.
Okay, it's a good pick.
Yeah, and I guess maybe manga form, so I could like read it.
Okay. Why is that the pick that you first go to? Like, why is that the one you want to bring with you?
Well, I initially thought Evangelion because I love it, but then you were like, yeah, what's the headspace you want to be in? I'm like, oh, I don't want to be in that headspace.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh no.
You're trying to get off that island, like after you watch that, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't want to stay here. Like, I don't want to like depress. But yeah, Fruits Basket, because it is a story. It was the first manga that I ever read.
Okay.
Like fully when I was younger, when I was in 6th grade, I remember. Back when we had Borders, for all the people that know what that is. And Fruits Basket is a story about going through struggles and hardship, but you come out like hopeful in the end, believing that you can like achieve greater things. So I think that that's probably a good headspace to be in, and reading a piece of media that has that sort of like hope through the dark kind of mentality.
Absolutely. First off, how dare you make me feel old by saying Borders, if you know what I mean with that one? Because I remember Borders, and I'm like, God, has it been that long since I even heard about a Borders? Like, Jesus.
I feel like it's been that long. I'm 32 years old, and all we have is Barnes and Noble now. Like, I don't think kids know what a Borders is.
Like, especially with like Borders. Like, look, I also get that. Yeah, most people think of Barnes Nobles, and if you're lucky, Books A Million. If that,
Ooh,
right?
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. Whoa.
Right. But also, like, I love like the headspace that Fruits Basket like get you in more than anything else. Though I'm surprised. Thought you would have gone with Kingdom Hearts. But regardless.
Oh fuck! I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud. No, I take it back. I will go with Kingdom Hearts. No, I won't go with Kingdom Hearts. I will go with Final Fantasy X.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no.
There we go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Remember when I was like, whenever I fucking fraud. Look, whenever I said media or whenever I said art, video game is considered in that realm, all right?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about a video game being on an island, so I was like, oh, maybe a good book. I don't know.
I mean, even then, all three of those are good answers more than anything else. But at least let's say I didn't mention the video games one. At least Fruit Baskets. That is your answer. You're locking that one in.
That is all right. I'll be. I mean, they all ultimately hit the thing that I want of like hope in the Kingdom Hearts has it. Final Fantasy X definitely has it. But Fruits Basket, yeah, that it has it a lot.
There you go. Then I think that is a wonderful answer to go with. And like I said, any of those other answers, any of them would have been good for this one more than anything else. But regardless, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Thank you. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You look fantastic with the merch that we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. They are a story artist and revisionist, advocacy group co-founder, podcaster, and creator of the magical fantasy indie animated series, The Three Tomes. Welcome to the podcast, Bre Navickas.
Woo, yippee, it's me.
It's you. It's really you.
It's me. Like Ice Cube, it's you. It's you.
How you doing today, Bre?
I'm doing great, minus the fact that for people listening or watching, I don't normally sound like this. I went to a little convention in Pasadena, California called Lightbox Expo about 2 weeks ago. Well, I guess by the time this comes out, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that.
My voice, I was doing too much yapping. I wasn't on a panel. I was just talking too damn much. And I also have a 1-year-old daughter. Yeah. So like if you combine yapping too much, there's a lot of like people in a room and a lot of bodies and like a lot of stuff floating around, and then your daughter goes to daycare, and those germs that makes your voice all
I think people are more than willing to forgive if the sound quality is not up to their standards more than anything else. But I mean, regardless, it's great to have you here more than anything else. I mean, you're someone that I've certainly seen in the kind of creative space in one form or fashion for years at this point. And
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. No, trust me. Look, it's not like I hadn't even noticed. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been at least a handful of times where I even popped whenever you were doing live streams. I popped in to see what you were doing, like just doing random live streams here and there and such. But
Wait, when I was on Twitch?
Yeah, when you were on Twitch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first time I saw you on Twitch one day, it was before you had gotten married. Like you were like your wedding was coming up or whatnot, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't think people remembered my little like mini Twitch era. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
I was unemployed for a while, so I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll Twitch streaming to make some extra money.
Yeah, especially make what little money you could, especially like I said, with a wedding coming up more than anything else. You'd probably a minor, drop in the water, see what we can do,
Yeah.
But regardless, again, like I said, you're someone that I've certainly been noticing for a good couple of years at this point, and especially with your, biggest project that you'll be able to unleash onto the world, the 3 tomes, more than anything else. And I cannot wait to talk about all that and then some. But before we talk about the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Bre. What got you interested in art and animation and stuff in the first place?
This is a cliche ass response, but it is the truth. When I was little, back in my day in 1945. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that old. I'm only 32, guys. I swear.
Right.
I swear. When I was young, back in the days of the VCR, I had Bambi on tape, and I would always wait for the tape to go off, and at the end of it there would be like this old ass white man in a suit talking about something called the multiplane camera, and I was like, whoa, what that? And then I just saw all these people painting on glass for like that opening sequence of Bambi, and then like taking the photos with the camera, and I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want to do that. And then combine that with my baby brain on Toonami.
There you go.
Back when Toonami was after school, mind you, not just like a block in the evening on a Saturday. We had that shit every day right after school.
Oh yeah.
And I saw this blonde girl with big old eyes, and like she had like these red little things in her hair and a sailor outfit. Yes, I'm talking about my goat, Sailor Moon, Usagi Tsukino, or Serena. That's how we knew her. We knew her as Serena back then. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want to do that. And then just also combine that with like seeing Pokemon.
There you go.
Yeah, it just kind of became a thing where I was like, I want to be a drawer, as I called it. I wanted to be a drawer.
Well, I mean, when you're young, the word animator is not exactly in your lexicon very early on, more than anything else. So I don't blame you if that's the language that you use. But regardless, like, look, you listed 3 incredible, very somewhat differing like influences in one form or fashion, because like Bambi, that's just the classic American animation more than anything else, especially seeing like how they did it with like the classic glass or whatnot. That is always a game changer when someone realizes, oh wait, that's how you can do that, or that's how that was done, like XYZ. And then getting into anime, which I imagine that opened so many doors for you, not just with Sailor Moon, Pokemon, but eventually like some of the other ones that you'd like, you talked about Fruit Baskets earlier, but like I can only imagine all the different animes that you eventually like latched onto and like influenced you the more you went down that rabbit hole.
I was definitely an Inuyasha girly in 6th and 7th grade.
There you go.
So yeah, big Inuyasha girly. But yeah, like the combination of like American and Japanese sort of animation was just sort of like it just lit a fire in my brain. And again, like a drawer, didn't really know, like the job of being an animator didn't really become something that I understood was a job until maybe high school.
Okay.
Because for a while I was like, I'm gonna become a mangaka and move to Japan and all this other shit. And then I was like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not gonna do all that.
I mean, there's certainly crazier dreams that people have had from watching cartoons as a kid or whatnot, I am curious because you said you didn't realize animator was a thing until you really got into high school. Was that around the time where it kind of clicked when it went from being like something that you just loved to watch and you couldn't help but absorb as much as possible to a passion and wanting to like truly make it your career?
I think so, mostly because, like, in high school we're taught, like, you gotta go to school, you gotta go to college, you gotta, like,
Yeah. Oh
find a
yeah.
job. And for a while, I was actually pursuing live action TV production,
Okay.
because the high school I went to, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Illinois originally.
Okay.
Um, my high school had a TV production club and a TV production class, so I got experience working with, like, you know, like real production television cameras. Like, it was like we had a real TV station and we
Mm-hmm.
operated it. So I got familiar with, like, being a live director for like sports programs, doing like ready one, take one, and like take three, camera three. Like I know how to do those things. And like working the switchboards, filming, um, wrapping cables and like making my own videos, editing. Like, I became really familiar with like editing with software like Final Cut Pro 7,
Okay.
Avid,
Yep.
all those things. Because I was also a Windows Movie Maker kid making really shitty AMVs to Lincoln Park in
Who?
high school.
I mean, that's just tradition, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So like I just took that love of like making AMVs and like took it to like high school, like editing stuff. But like I was still drawing all the time. I was still really into anime. I was still really into like Western cartoon. Well, I went through a period of actually like not liking Western cartoons because and there was a I'm sure you've seen the study like a year or two ago maybe, where somebody from WB said like girls don't watch cartoons anymore. And when they become adolescents, and it's like, no, it's not that we don't watch cartoons, it's that a lot of us just dipped over to anime. That's
Yeah.
really all it was. And
That's.
that anime is still cartoons. It's still fucking cartoon. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a different name. Like, anime is not a genre. It is just, for some reason over here we've turned it into a genre, but it's not. Like, over there it just means animation.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's a different conversation. I don't need the anime fans like yelling at me for that.
Well, look, it's just one of those like it's not that. I gotta tread lightly here because I also don't want to infuriate the anime fans as well. But it's like obviously, like you said, like over here for some reason they put in its own like category when if you actually take the time to do more than 2 seconds, then look at anime and then be like, all right, something else. There's so many different
Mm-hmm.
types of anime. There's so many different like scenarios and stories that you can dive into and
Mm-hmm.
feel like something that you can easily relate to, especially like I said, as you got to your adolescence compared to some of the Western, cartoons, which let's be blunt, like you said, WB came out to say being like, oh, women just don't watch the cartoons. No, it's just you
Mm-hmm.
tend to cater a lot to younger boys more than anything else. And it's kind of
Yeah.
hard for girls to feel that same connection when in anime there are so many different again genres of animation that they can cling on to in one form or fashion. It's just like, oh yeah, no,
Right.
this is cool. This is sick. I love this. This looks awesome.
Right. There's a lot more like YA options in the realm of anime. And it's just that um like like I think about, again, I'm not dogging on this show because like I'm sure I have like colleagues that probably worked on it, like older colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I was little, like, or when I was like younger around this time, like as a teen, we had like Camp Laszlo and stuff like
Yes.
that. And I didn't really like it. I was like, this is kind of dumb.
And that's
I know,
no. Look,
I'm
that's
not a
fair.
fan.
I was like, look, that's fair. I was gonna say, look, I'm only like 3 years younger than you. I'm 29 years old. I was watching Camp
Mhm.
Laszlo when I was the target audience for that. Okay, young
I
kids.
changed the channel every time. I was like, ooh, Camp Laszlo, turn that shit off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go over here and watch fucking I don't know, I'm gonna go watch Utena
There you
and
go.
deal with that trauma. Because that
Exactly.
show is traumatic. uh, it's very traumatic. But you see what I mean, though? It's just that
Oh yeah.
like more like heavier topics, more like YA, like more adolescent type stuff. Like, that's where my brain was.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just something about like, and I was drawing like my own like OCs and stuff. Like, yes, they were dumb in high school, edgy, because we all had them.
It was the
But like,
style at the time. It's the style at the time because it's the style all the time.
yep, it was the style all the time back then. And
Mm-hmm.
like, what, they had like an angel? I don't know. Like, they had like a scythe because everybody had one.
Yeah.
um, but when I was just like, because I kept drawing that stuff, I was just like, I really I just really want to keep drawing. I want to do animation. Maybe I could do this as a job. Maybe I can be an animator.
Yeah.
And it kind of freaked out my mom a little bit because she was like, but the TV editing stuff though, you don't want to like you're doing really good with that. And I'm like, I know, but eh. So I went to art college. I went to Columbia College Chicago in
Okay.
Chicago. And I studied I had a concentration in animation, but I was in like the film major
Mm-hmm.
because animation was like a it was like a subsection of the film department.
Right.
So I still had to
Right.
take like some film courses. Like I had to film on a Bolex camera and like make like a live action documentary, and I made it like about cosplay and stuff.
Okay.
Uh I will never show it to the world because it was bad. It was a college project and I was like not really feeling it. I was just like,
No,
I would rather be drawing right now.
that is a valid mood more than anything else.
Mhm. But during the process of working on like studying animation and like working on like projects in college, I found out that I did not want to be a creator. I was like, this shit kind of ass for me
Right.
personally. But I like storyboarding.
There you
I'm not
go.
about to 24 frames per second. Can't be me. I'm not doing that. Let me do the beats and maybe a little bit of like cool dynamicism, but
Right.
let me lay the story out for you, and
Mm-hmm.
then you, the animator, can push it. And our final project in college was called The Legend of Face Beard. I believe it is
Okay.
on Vimeo. I think it's on Vimeo. It was about like a is Vimeo still around? Actually, I don't know.
Vimeo's a thing. It's not as big as people know it, but I'm pretty sure it's still a thing.
Okay, because that was like where we all used to upload like projects.
Yeah, no, no. Trust me, I think there's still plenty of people that use Vimeo for that specific. Like
Okay.
it is specifically like when art students or when film students have to put their thing somewhere, but they can't put it on YouTube because for some reason
Yeah.
it disqualifies them from certain film festivals and such. They go to
Right.
Vimeo.
Right. But yeah, it's I think it might still be up there if you want to watch it. College project with like the senior thesis,
Mm-hmm.
and I storyboarded on it and did a little bit of like coloring in Toon Boom Harmony. Like that was my first like rodeo with it.
Okay.
And through that project, that was when I realized like yeah, I really like storyboarding, and
Okay.
that became like um the lead into like me wanting to pursue it professionally.
Well, there you go. And I'm glad you actually touched upon that because that was actually something I was gonna like get into, figuring out why that was like the path that you want to get to. And like, look, I get it. Like you said earlier, like ADD is kind of a thing that you deal with in one form or fashion. Trying to concentrate on drawing one frame alone is already chaotic for like as it is. So trying to do that for 24 frames or even 12 frames or whatnot, like
Yeah.
that could be hell on a person. It's very hard to kind of focus on that sometimes. So
Yeah.
like the people that can do it, we always give nothing but love and respect for those that are able to do that
Full
kind of stuff at the
respect.
end, yeah, at the day. But like storyboarding, I get what you mean. You're kind of that first step in the direction, like after the script is like get made or developed or whatnot. You're that kind of first step. Like, okay, this is the direction that we want to go, or this is what we're trying to like. This is the vision more than anything else.
Hmm.
So like, I can
Yeah,
understand that.
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I said like like I know me saying this shit kind of ass is like maybe a lot, but that was just like for me personally. Like
Yeah.
literally for me, I was like this is just too much, but I have mad respect for everybody else that is just an amazing animator. Like animators um are like insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think everybody that can do a part of the pipeline very well that I can't is a freak in the best possible way. Like I think character designers are freaks, but I mean that with love
Oh
because I'm just
yeah.
like you have all these like really cool designs in your brain and you can just like spit them out and turn them around and do really well with them. I'm just like, wow, let me
Yeah.
storyboard that. That's awesome. I think that's so cool. And I love I just love all the parts of the pipeline that like I'm not able to do because everybody's just so damn
Look.
like
Yeah.
animation is such a wonderful collaborative medium, and I think that like I don't know, sorry, I'm gushing. It's just
No,
like
no,
really cool.
no, no, no. First off, never apologize for gushing. This is the platform for you to gush more than anything else, because we always we salute our kings and queens more than anything else that can rock in an animation more than anything else. Look, I'm someone that is in the closest I ever get to animation is if a buddy of mine needs some voice acting because I'm trying to get into voice acting myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have that same mentality of you of just like every different aspect of animation that you look at that you know that you could probably only wish you could do or have the patience to do more than anything else. Seeing the other people not only do it but like crush it and like do a phenomenal job with it, you can't help but like have that love and respect at the end of the day for the entire process. I mean, as someone that's part of the animation pipeline, I feel like that's kind of necessary, having that love and appreciation, not just for what you do, but for what everyone does in it.
Absolutely. It's a team effort.
Exactly. Also, I'm going to go back just a little bit. I'm just vaguely curious. You don't got to fully dox yourself, but what part of Illinois are you from?
I am from the west suburbs, and that is all I will say.
No. Yeah. Honestly, that's extremely valid. Look, I was wondering because I was born in Illinois, but I was born in central Illinois, where there's nothing but corn.
Oh, yeah, corn.
Yeah, okay. yeah. I was gonna say where there's nothing but cornfield and meth. All right, so yeah.
Okay. Well, I will offline with you since you are a fellow Illinois kiddo.
Well, that's fair. Although I will say I was born there. I moved away from there when I was like 3 years old. So like I didn't really have that much of experience from it. See, like you, I relocated, but unlike you, it wasn't my choice. I moved down to Georgia, and like down in Georgia or whatnot. That's where that's where I kind of like got the experience that I wanted, that I wish I could have had when it came to animation and all that kind of stuff. Personally, like I grew up in a high school to where if you weren't a part of the FFA, the Future Farmers of America, you were one of the weird ones. I was one of the weird ones.
All right.
Yeah, that's a legitimate thing, Future Farmers of America. But whenever I went to college, that's whenever I got experience like being a part of film and such. So like when you were talking about, being able to work with some of the equipment or like being part of like the editing process or whatnot, that was stuff that I was studying in college because that was like my first exposure to it, and I was going to go into like live action and all that kind of stuff. I just never got the degree, and then I came home thinking I was only going to take like a semester off, and that turned up being a good couple of years, partially because of COVID. So yeah, a lot of factors kind of stacked one up on top of another more than anything else. And now here I am hosting a podcast while also working a forklift job, so make that make sense.
Hey, you got to make your money. It's all good.
Yeah, especially with all the student loans I had to take out. Anyways,
yippee!
Yeah, yippee! But let's get
capitalism.
No, absolutely. But it's really cool that in college, back to obviously the main point of our conversation, like getting that experience in storyboarding or whatnot. Like it's really cool that like that little experience, especially working on face beard or whatnot, that led you to really devoting yourself to this storyboard path more than anything else. And from what I could tell, it has led to some really cool opportunities. Once you got out of there, obviously there's, the usual dysfunction of trying to figure out what to do after college is done and over with more than anything else.
Right.
Right. But once you were actually able to like get into the field and get to work on so many like incredible shows and opportunities or whatnot, whether it be, storyboarding or otherwise, like for example, I saw that one of your first opportunities after college or whatnot, you got to work on the Proud Family Louder and Prouder.
Yes, I worked on seasons 1 and 2 of Proud Family Louder and Prouder. I was a production coordinator for those first 2 seasons, and it was also my first time working for Disney proper.
Yeah.
It wasn't my first time working on a Disney property. I had worked on a Disney Junior show prior to that called Mirror Royal Detective.
Right.
Rest in peace. I really wish that show had lasted longer.
Right.
It really I feel like it could have been longer, but I don't know, the perfect storm of like COVID and people not really like thinking about a kid show, people thinking, oh god, I gotta survive, Yeah, at least that's the vibe I got from why it didn't last.
We understand the priorities in certain spots more than anything else. It's unfortunate, but it was an unfortunate result of the circumstances at the time. So
but I working on Proud Family like really it came it opened up a lot of opportunities, I guess, for me.
Okay.
Because I got to meet so many like wonderful people, and just getting my foot in the door at Disney proper really just like opened my network, I guess. Right. And it's funny because like Disney was never really it was never really my goal. Like when people break into the industry, a lot of folks are like, oh, I want to work for Disney, like it's so cool. I'm not dogging on the place that I work. It's more so that at the time Disney just wasn't really putting out anything that I was super attached to that I wanted to be on.
Right.
The one thing that I did want to work on had already ended, and that was Tangled the series.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, and Warner Brothers actually and Titmouse were the places that I really, really wanted to be because
Yeah.
they just because I really love DC superheroes.
Mm.
Um, like I'm a fucking love Batman. Like Justice League, that was my shit.
Oh,
Static,
oh,
like
homie,
come
we
on.
could talk about that all day. Like
I
specifically
was
Static. Like,
that
come on.
like the DCAU, like the whole like Bruce Timm, Dwayne McDuffie verse, like all that. That was my shit
Yes,
growing up,
I
and I
agree.
really wanted to. I almost worked on oh geez, I think I at the they didn't tell me what it was, but I'm like 90% sure that when I was interviewing at Warner Brothers to be a PA, it was for the Arkham uh Arkham, is it Arkham Assault, I think. There,
I think
yeah,
so.
there was some Suicide Squad specific DC movie,
Okay, yeah,
and
I
they were
think that
interviewing me
is.
for it.
I think
Yeah.
that was Asylum. Yeah, Arkham Assault, if I remember correctly. But then again, I am not. I
It's been a
yeah,
while.
I'm not. I'm also not an encyclopedia of DC stuff. I have other people that work on DC
It's all
properties I can
good.
go to for that one.
Yeah. And then like also Titmouse just had like Motor City, and even though I
Okay.
didn't watch it, Moonbeam City, I heard it wasn't the best show, but I liked the aesthetic of it. And
Mm-hmm.
just in general, Titmouse is always sort of pushing the bar. So
Yes.
like though WB and Titmouse were just places that were very much of interest to me. But you know, Proud Family came a knockin', and I I was just like, no, I have to be on this. And it was really interesting because it was during a time where I was trying very hard to not be in production anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because while I was on Mira, I I didn't I was trying to just hone my skills as a storyboard artist. Because mind you, I graduated college in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't break into the animation industry until 2018. So it took a minute.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, because like I was still in Illinois for about a year, and then I moved out to LA after my grandmother passed, and I was able to get with a couple of like fellow students, and we all moved at the tail end of 2016, and then from
Mm-hmm.
2016 to 2017 or 2016 to 2018. I was working in graphic design at an
Okay.
advertising agency here in LA just to like, you know, pay the bills and keep
Yeah.
afloat. You know,
Especially in
it
LA. I
was
mean, it takes a lot to stay afloat.
yeah, it was very soul sucking work, but again, you know, you got to eat.
Yeah.
Um, um, but like Proud Family, because it was so near and dear to my heart as a show because I grew up with it,
Yeah.
I was like, no, I have to be on this. Like, I don't care if I have to be in production again. I have to be on this. Because I saw like the creator, Bruce W. Smith, he posted on Twitter like, "Hey, where are like all the POC production coordinators?" And I was like, I'm a POC and I'm a production coordinator. Hello. And my friend um Jay Francis, who is a Disney executive at the time,
Oh wow.
or I mean he still is um I was like at the time, like he still is. Um I met up with him and like kind of helped me uh get my resume in front of the producer
Okay.
because like I messaged I messaged Bruce, but he never got back to me, and I'm like, oh okay.
I mean, to be fair, with how much he was probably dealing with getting it back off the ground or what, I can only imagine how much he was
Yeah,
juggling with.
but it was really funny because like when he when I met up with him again, and when my resume got in front of the producer, it was like at a mixer event,
Okay.
where like Disney had like asked people to come because it was like kind of a recruitment event, for like because Moon Girl and Proud Family were both coming out around the same time,
Right.
so
Right.
there were a lot of like black breaking in black current professionals at this mixer, and I was just like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. um and at the time too, around that same time, my podcast and org that I had founded with my co-founder Wayman Singleton, Black and Animated, was
Mm-hmm.
also starting. So I was like kind of becoming more known to like people at the higher level because of that as well.
Right.
But like Yeah, it was just really funny because like he sent my resume. Jay sent my resume over to the producer. The producer's like, "Oh yeah, Jay just sent. I just got an email about you." And this is all at the mixer, and I'm like, "Oh God, hi." And then she's like, "Have you met the showrunner, Bruce?" And then and I'm like, "Oh God, hi." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I owe you a reply, don't I?" And I'm like,
You know what? That is good professionalism more than anything else. I'm not just because I can only imagine someone like him getting like tons of messages in one form or fashion, like all the time with like what he's working on and such. And the fact that he heard about you is straight up like, oh shit, I owe you a reply. My bad. That is
right.
incredible.
Yeah, it was. It truly was like a perfect storm of different blessings. And Proud Family to this day is probably and again, like I'm not dogging on any of the crews I've been on,
Of
but
course.
I will say that Proud Family is probably the most fun and one of the best shows that I've had the pleasure of working as far as like the as far as like the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was hard work. It's very hard work.
Of course.
Like I'm not gonna lie about that part, but very good people. And just you know, being black and working in animation, especially at the time of when I started COVID, and then you know, right after George Floyd was murdered,
Right.
and the entire Black Lives Matter movement started
Yep.
to like ramp up even more like crazy. And I guess I just felt like I said, a perfect storm of blessings to be in a space for my work environment that was very like caring to like the emotional impact of their employees that are working for them based on like what was going on outside.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna tell you, there are other black people I know that were, you know, that were working in corporate places at the time, or you know, and like just in other places, and there was no acknowledgement of it. No, like, you good? I know it's like kind of, I know it's fucked up, or like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but that that crew was really special.
Yeah, I mean, it's even even without the world events going on, like starting from like that crew had to be just special in the first place. 'Cause in fact, I felt almost
Hmm.
like I honestly, yeah, it's the Proud Family, but it must have felt like just a family getting to work on such a tale that was uh a lot true and a lot very personal for a lot of people on that crew. And then, like you said, given like the world events going on, the fact that there was a lot more love and care put into not just the story itself, but also like the workplace, like with everyone involved or whatnot. Like, yeah, I can understand why that experience is probably a once in a million experience that you'll ever get in working in the industry in one form or another.
It truly is. Like I've been on 5 shows so far,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the most melanated crew I've ever been on, which
I,
which is kind of sad to say, like, but it's just how it was. And it was but it was a good like, you know, a good environment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And look, again, it's the Proud Family compared to some of the other shows that we're gonna bring up or whatnot. I think there might be one other show that might be in the running for most melanated, and I'll go ahead and mention it now.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Jessica's Big Little World. Get
That is,
this.
yes. Jessica was also very melanated.
There you go.
But I was only on Jessica for like 2 weeks in remote, and
uh,
Jessica was kind of like a I kind of am a little like jealous of everybody that got to be in the building for Jessica,
right,
I didn't. Um and Jessica was a very like wonderful experience for me, even though it was only for a very brief stint,
right.
because I got the opportunity to work with Carol Holiday, who is so sweet and a very amazing director. And for people who don't know, Carol Holiday is a black woman in the industry. She is a veteran, and you probably know her as you probably know her work. She has worked on Goofy Movie, you know, like OG Sophia, and Goofy Movie in particular. She was the designer for Roxanne.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. That makes a lot of sense. I, I,
And she was on like OG Little Mermaid, OG Little Mermaid, the series
the
as
anime
well.
series.
And
Okay.
I yeah, and I think she worked on Tarzan. I'm pretty sure she worked on the Tarzan.
Yeah.
But yeah, working for Carol, that was the height of or one of the heights of my career so far, because that was the first storyboard job that I had, because I was in production for 4 or 5 years
Right.
before I finally pivoted over to working as a storyboard revisionist.
Right. And even for a brief period of, again, 2 weeks or whatnot, the fact that you got a chance to
Mhm.
even dip your toes in the thing that you really wanted to do, that had to be a surreal experience, especially for a show like Jessica's Big Little World, which I think deserves a little bit more love, even though it was
It
not given the
really
proper
does.
chance more than anything else to really survive and thrive.
Dude, when I tell you all these networks are like, "Oh, we want to make our own Bluey. We want to make our own Bluey." And I'm like, "You had it.
Yeah.
That was Jessica. Jessica was your Bluey." And I worked on the bedtime routine episode, and then the
Yes.
episode where I forget the title, but Jessica meets the little Filipino, I think,
I
boy at the playground.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and both of those episodes were really sweet, but bedtime routine like kind of brought me to tears a little bit, because it was just very emotional scene, like this little black girl getting ready with her bonnet and like just, brushing her teeth, and I was like, "Damn, I want to show this kind of shit to my kid."
Yeah.
And this was before I decided to have a baby.
Yeah.
So I
This
was
is
like, "Oh,
before
if
you
I
even
have a
had a
baby,
kid.
yeah." Or I was like, "Oh, I wish I had something like this. This is so sweet. This is so
Right.
good." Like Jessica is so special.
I know.
I miss it.
I know, absolutely. Luckily, like I said, that was your first. Luckily, that was not your last storyboard experience or whatnot. In fact,
It was not.
you had a little bit more of a storyboard experience with the next one I wanted to bring up. You had a hand in Minnie's bow tunes.
I did, yes. I worked on the iteration of Mini Botoons known as Camp Mini
Okay.
and Pet Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the Mini Botoon shorts are basically like Minnie and Daisy doing a bunch of jobs. They're
Yeah.
working girls. And they're just doing all kinds of random shit. So like the first iteration was just, I guess, them hanging out at like her house. I don't
It
know.
was like a house shop or something like that. I only know
House
about
shop.
yeah. I only know about
Yeah.
this because I when I was my
Oh, the
final
boutique.
yeah,
Yeah.
the boutique.
The
There you go.
boutique.
No, I was gonna say I only know about it because when I was in college, my final semester, I was staying with a friend of mine who was staying with like her family, and she had a little brother who watched Disney Junior religiously more than anything else. So like those bow tunes would always turn on, and so yeah, I know
Hmm.
exactly the boutique that you were talking about and whatnot.
Yes. Yes, the boutique. And then I think after that was Party Place, I
That
believe.
seems about
But
right.
yeah, and those iterations were done by Disney proper,
Okay.
and then they kicked it over to the company known as Wild Canary, which is they're a smaller third party studio where and like Disney tends to contract them for a lot of their preschool shows. So if you've seen like Miles from Tomorrowland, Sheriff Callie, Puppy Dog Pals, that's a really big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah, Wild Canary did all of that stuff. and
Okay.
um and then that first, kind of jumping back, that first industry job that I had, Mirror Royal Detective, that was at Wild Canary.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of ping ponged between Wild Canary, Disney, Cartoon Network for like a brief stint, and then back to Wild Canary, and now I'm back at Disney
And
again.
now you're back at Disney again.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like going between the two.
I mean, regardless, despite how chaotic it seems, especially like at this point, we're not even talking. We're obviously not going to talk about the NDA stuff because, again, I want to make sure you have a job by the time you get done with
Yeah.
this interview. But like, it must be really cool to even like get a chance to work on some of these properties and work with like some of these incredible people. Like, it has to be surreal to think that like the thing that you kind of wanted to do at the beginning and the thing that you realize like in college, like this is where I want to be. You're actually getting a chance to do that with such cool stuff. Again, like not everyone can say they got to draw Minnie Mouse more than anything else.
And not everybody can say that they made Daisy Duck do a JoJo pose.
Exactly.
I made Daisy do the Josuke like JoJo pose at the end of a song, and then I made Minnie do the Jonathan kind of pose.
There you go. That's your
That
crowning
one,
achievement at this point, isn't it?
see that see the mini pose didn't really translate in CG very well, but that Daisy one though, I was like, yeah,
There
they
you
got it in
go.
there. There we go. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, why not? I'll just sneak that in there. And that's like a fun thing about being a revisionist or a board artist, period, is that you can just like throw little homages in there.
It's so fun, and like I said, I imagine that just even getting that in there in one form or fashion, that has to be like a mini like crowning achievement more than anything else in your career so far. Like, yeah, I was able to sneak that in there more than anything else.
Yeah. I will say though, I think the biggest achievement that I got in, not really like snuck, but
Okay.
more so that like I put in was like it was two things in Proud Family.
Okay.
I was able to get in a Kingdom Hearts reference into
Yes.
Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. And it made people freak out because it was also the year of like the anniversary, 25th anniversary, it was happening.
Right.
And myself and another artist who was doing revisions on the Wonderful World of Mickey or the Mickey shorts,
Mm-hmm.
also got in a Kingdom Hearts reference. People were like, "Does this mean something?" And then we both were like, "No, we're just big Kingdom Hearts fans and just threw that in there. I'm sorry."
No, you. Here's
Um,
the thing. Y'all should have said nothing and let the internet just run wild and have a million
Probably.
different million different like theories or whatnot fuel the flames that's already the Kingdom Hearts fandom. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah. Because like if for the one that I did, it wasn't even like that big of a deal. Well, I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it wasn't that big of a deal, but everybody was freaking out because it was just like there's a scene where one of the characters is playing a video game and Penny like walks into the room, or no, Penny like pops up on like a Discord call or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like the character KG is like playing what looks like a Kingdom Hearts type game.
Right.
And the designers did a very good job putting it together. But the reason why it came from me is because my director was like, "Yeah, I don't know what like game you should be playing here. Like, we need to come up with something." And I was like, "Hey Tara, I have an idea. You know about Kingdom Hearts? It's got Disney shit in it." She was like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Let me show you."
Yes.
Then we talked to the art director, and the art director, who's also like a big nerd and loves Kingdom Hearts, he was like, "Oh my god, yes, we're doing this."
Yes. Oh my god, that's brilliant more than anything else. That is hilarious.
So that is my like crowning achievement. That I feel like a little more so than the JoJo pose.
Yeah.
But I think, but like the second biggest one is in the Juneteenth episode of Proud Family,
Mm-hmm.
where like we find out that Kiki Palmer's character, Maya, like her adoptive dad is like the descendant of like the slave owner who like came to the town, and they
Right.
were trying to like erect a statue of him, and then they're like, "No, we can't slave owner statues. That's fucked up."
Yeah.
Um, in that episode at the very end, like they honor like this little girl named Emily who used to be who was a runaway slave, and they like renamed the town, and like we have these incidentals that like are her descendants, and that episode was mine to coordinate, and we decided to, as like a very like sweet thing for the incidentals, use like relatives that people honor or like had passed away like on our team.
Mm-hmm.
So like our editor, one of the other coordinators, we had like his uncle and like her grandmother. My director, we had her mother, and then for me, we got to put in my grandmother in there, and it just really meant a lot to like be able to honor my granny in that way, because like, let's be real, grief is something that doesn't really go away, right? Like, you just
Right.
learn to handle it a little bit better. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I had to learn when I started going to therapy. Go
Yeah.
to therapy, kids, if you can afford it. It's good for your brain.
It is.
um but yeah, like that was something that I think was very healing to see, and it like made my mom and my aunt like really happy too.
Good. No,
So I think, so yeah, that is like my big thing.
yeah. No, honestly, that's a very sweet, like, little sentiment more than anything else, to kind of have the people like honor those that didn't get the opportunity to see them do this kind of stuff or see what they're got to do. Like, that's, I think I need some tissue. No, like, in all seriousness, like, that's a very no. In all seriousness, no, it's very sweet. It's very sentimental, and I'm glad that you were able to make that happen, make that reality. Not only like honoring those that passed away, but just honoring kind of the community that you really had on Louder and Prouder more than anything else. And I think that also kind of leads to the next point that I wanted to bring up in one form or fashion, because community, you seem to be really good when it comes to growing and developing a community in one form or fashion, and obviously The biggest form of that is with the advocacy group that you were the co-founder for, Black and Animated. Now, you said that it started as a podcast before it eventually became the group. How exactly did that become the story? Like, how did it start from podcast and grow into a force of Black animators more or less coming together and helping each other grow?
Sure, yeah. Well, I guess I'll give you like the TLDR version. Like, I met my creative partner and like really, really good friend, like a brother to me, Wayman Singleton, one day, like at a mixer at Cartoon Network randomly, like in
Okay.
2017 or something like that. And it was very funny because I was getting very overstimulated at the bar that we were at,
Valid.
and I was like, I don't want to. I was like, I don't want to be in here anymore. It's too loud. I can't hear myself think. And then I go outside and I see like a group of like Black people hanging out, and I'm like, I will go over here. It's like I will stand with them, and I'm like, hey, is this where the Black people are? And they were like, yeah, come on down. And Wayman was one of those people.
There you go.
And then we met up again at CTN, back when people were still going to it.
Yeah.
Um, and we both kind of just were joking about like, yeah, it was really cool to meet you that time, and also like, you ever think about a podcast? And he's like, man, I think about a podcast. And then we just we hit it off and talked about our ideas and how we both were like, he was on the East Coast in New York, or not in New York, at SCAD,
Yeah.
and I was in the Midwest at Columbia, and just being like, are there any like Black people that do this job that we like? Like, and then we were just thinking, and we both were like, yeah, there's Floyd Norman, Bruce W. Smith.
After a certain point,
we're like, ooh, we're like, who else is out there? And like the anxiety that we felt, we're like, damn, are we not gonna do this? Oh my god.
Right.
And then when we got out here and started networking around like separately before we met each other, it's like, oh no, there are a lot of Black professionals out here. People just don't really know a lot of them, and maybe we can bring that like inspiration and awareness to other college students that are trying to break in, or like find comfort in knowing that this is a possibility to them, like so that way they don't have like that nervous feeling that we did as individually.
Right.
And that's kind of how the podcast was born. And we interviewed like people at all levels of their career, like people who were just starting out, people who had been in the business for like forever, like legendary Disney animator Dan Haskin,
Yeah.
and Dan's great, really great guy. We interviewed people who were like mid-career, um, people who were just starting to get notoriety, like Jeff Tremmel,
Yes.
Craig of the Creek, and yeah, it just kind of continued to blow up from there. But then like we got an email from Disney recruitment at the time, and I thought it was fake. I was like, wait, what the fuck? What do they want?
That's valid.
And Wayman was still in his first job in industry at Oddbot Nation.
Okay.
I hadn't quite broken in yet, but I was still in my advertising job. But I was again like starting to get known by some people because of the podcast and like where
Right.
and like whatnot. And like they just saw that like we were cultivating a community, and were they thought we were like a org, and they were also like like, would it be possible if we could like work with you all to like make like a mixer event?
Oh.
Because like again, like Proud Family, I mean nobody knew at the time Proud Family was coming back,
Right.
but like Proud Family and Moon Girl were like both kind of like low key like getting ready to like gear up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there was like rumors about both of those shows coming back in one form or fashion, but there was no like official like, hey, these shows are coming soon to Disney programming in one form or fashion.
Right. And basically from there, like again, like bringing him up, my friend Jay Francis, who's an executive, like he wanted to meet us and like know more about who we were.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Lorraine Great and Nyla Magruder. Nyla, who you might know, she also worked in the industry, and she also has written for our Marvel Comics. She's also the creator of Spider Bite. So the reason why the Spider Bite is in Spider-Verse, that's her baby right there.
There you go.
And and Lorraine works in production. She currently works on Invincible.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and Lorraine and Nyla were really good at cultivating community too. So like kind of with the combined powers of myself, Wayman, Lorraine, and Nyla, we held like a big mixer event of like all the Black people, and just people got wind of that, and that's how like Disney sort of like reached out to us,
Okay.
and we created like a bigger mixer event with Disney, and this was like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like the first of its kind. So it was like basically like Disney's first big studio mixer with Black and animated. And then after that mixer, we were kind of like, you know what? Maybe we should just be like a community organization because
Right.
this is kind of cool. And then from then on, like we just started to have like little events. Like we worked with Nickelodeon and we got really close with a creative executive who was there and like that cultivated like Black artists at Nickelodeon. And shout out to Neil Wade. He no longer works at Nickelodeon. There were lots of like layoffs and stuff recently. It's like
Yep.
it's very stinky in the industry right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But BNA really grew into this community that was a place of reassurance for a lot of Black artists.
Yeah.
And just more and more studios became aware of us, wanted to partner with us for like mixer events, whether they were online or in person. And shout out to Lauren Andrews for like how over the pandemic, she's a director in animation, um, worked at Titmouse. She created the Discord, the original version of it. The Discord is like different now. I don't really know anything about it.
Right.
Um, um, and yeah, like it just was a really nice community to like help bridge that gap between like students, people breaking in, and also professional Black folks to just make this sort of like safe space for us.
Yeah.
And and um and also like allies that wanted to help out too, how they could like be there for like the Black community and answer questions directly. And it was a really good time. And then it got a little bit too big because
Yeah.
over the pandemic, again I mentioned like when George Floyd was murdered and everybody suddenly remembered that Black people exist. It kind of felt like the industry as a whole was just coming to us to ask us to fix it. And I understand wanting to do better, but it is not lost on me that it took, I say this all the time, it is not lost on me that it took the murder of somebody to make you acknowledge that there are problems.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth sometimes. Um, I am very grateful to all of the studios that have like, uplifted the org so far. It's just I just wish it didn't have to happen because of the death of somebody.
Yeah, like
That's,
for you, I imagine it would have been ideal, like just seeing like that the natural growth of it more than anything else would have had the studios coming in and being like, hey, this is really cool. Let's help like build this up more. Let's like actually like get this, not an incident that is completely out of their hands more than anything else. Like
yeah.
making them come to you and be like, hey, you guys can relate to this somehow. How do we fix like how do we do like how like that's not how it
Yeah.
should be, and like especially with like what was initially like the podcast, which was an incredible concept. I mean, to be fair, that's what this podcast tries to be on a broader sense more than anything else, of like trying to let people know about artists and like the incredible stuff they're doing and trying to make those connections in one form or another. But with
Hmm.
you guys, like really like narrowing it down to like not only highlight these incredible animators, but like build a community so that they can be there for each other and let people know like, hey, these are really cool people doing incredible stuff. And the way that it kind of snowballed from there is insane to even think about in the first place, because like if my podcast somehow got studio executives coming to me and be like, hey, these incredible artists, how can we help uplift them like even more, I would have no idea what to do.
It is a lot of pressure. It is a
Yeah.
lot of pressure when all eyes are on you. And the BNA community is something that is so special to me because it was a part of my life
Right.
for about almost half of my industry career, because I've been working in animation for almost 9 years at this point.
Mm-hmm.
BNA was like, I guess, a little over half. Like I was doing BNA for like 6 years or so. And I the thing that brings me the most joy is when I hear how it helped people,
Yeah.
how I don't know, like a job opportunity that they had never heard of before. Like suddenly, like they're researching that and they want to pursue that. Like I had so many people. There was someone that was like, I didn't know what a color designer was, and I really love coloring. And like now that I learned about it from like you talking to Umaima Damaka, who's an amazing like designer. She's an
Mm-hmm.
amazing artist. They're like, oh my god, like now I know I can do that. Like because
Yeah.
like I love color theory and I didn't know that was a job. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff that makes me happy. Or just at Lightbox this past couple of weeks, there was a young man. I'm so sorry if he listens to this. I'm so sorry. I'm blanking on your name. I talked to a lot of people
That's
there,
valid.
um, but he spoke to me about how he was very grateful to me and BNA as a whole because like he was able to get part of some like mentorship at DreamWorks because he heard about it through our org
Oh
because our
wow.
org partnered with DreamWorks for stuff like that.
Right.
And he's like on his like second year or something of it now and is like getting to know people at DreamWorks better. So he said he was just super grateful and like um and also like shout out to my good friend Lee Cree. I'm sure you've seen like her animations floating around everywhere. She's an
Yes.
amazing animator.
She's absolutely stunning
She
animator and someone I would love to bring on this podcast.
she is one of the BNA OGs. She sent Waymond and I fan mail back when we were still a podcast,
There you
and
go.
she messaged us about how like the podcast gave her the courage to not give up and to want to keep going, and you know the rest is history. Like it's shit like that that makes me happy because
Yeah.
that's what BNA is. That's what it was. That's why we made it. Um, and I just I like helping people.
Yeah.
Um, I feel it's something that my therapist has kind of talked to me about, and my husband as well. That like I uh I love helping people, but maybe sometimes so much that it's a little bit of a detriment to myself. And I guess
Yeah.
that kind of leads into why, um, for as wonderful as BNA was, and how much it impacted a lot of people. It was burning Waymond and myself out
Yeah.
because we were like it was like a candle burning at both ends for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And he ultimately stepped down first. You know, we had a conversation about it because like we were planning like an exit plan, but you know, sometimes maybe you got to do it sooner.
Yeah.
I was trying to hold on to it for as long as I could just to like pass it on to people because I didn't want it to like completely like cripple because
Right.
it means a lot.
Absolutely.
And then I did pass it on, and I'm not affiliated with the org anymore.
Right.
I've moved on from it for personal reasons. Um, and you know, I wish the current team the best with whatever they're doing with it.
Yeah.
As long as it keeps helping people, like that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
But I am no longer affiliated with the org,
Right.
and like that's partially why now Waymond and I have pursued like a new podcast called
Yeah.
Keeping You Animated because
Yeah.
we both just like really missed doing it with each
Mm-hmm.
other. We miss podcasting with each other. So now Keeping You Animated is meant to just sort of like be like what keeps us as Black creatives creative. Like what during this like really crummy time, like what is keeping a little bit of light in the dark. And it's kind of funny because like BNA also was that for a lot of people, a bit of light in the dark during like a really crummy time,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know.
No, it absolutely was, especially at that time when you first made the podcast and seeing it grow to the way that it was, and you know, here you are years later seeing what you were able to do with it and the incredible connections you were able to make then, and here you are now going back with the original, you know, co-founder and making the new podcast, Keeping You Animated, which I gotta say, like, there's only a handful of episodes so far, but I've been loving what you guys have been putting out with Keeping You Animated more than anything else. I mean, shout out to former guest Lakai Porter more than anything else. Like
Yes.
the episode that you had with them and the other voice actors as well. Like I loved that episode more than anything else.
That episode was a trip because I just closed my eyes and I'm like, ah, my characters. It's them.
Yeah. I mean,
Particularly funny listening to Noah Bellachew and Corey Wilder talk because they like each other. They're cool with each
yeah.
other. But then like I imagine my characters and I'm just like,
Oh,
My characters
if
hated
those,
each other.
yeah, I was saying, if,
I was like, I don't.
if those two were in this, if those two were in the same room, this would not be a civil conversation, to put it
No,
mildly.
no, it would not. It would not. It would be maybe a little flirty,
Oh.
but also very like toxic and like I hate your guts.
Well, look at that. At this point, we've danced around it like here and there, especially as of now. We are definitely taking that first step. So I feel like I can't avoid it anymore. The main reason why I wanted to bring you on this podcast is to talk about this incredible, magical fantasy indie anime series that you've just recently dropped the animatic pilot for, The Three Tomes.
Yes, that thing back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I needed a background.
No, it's
sorry. It's just on my bed.
look. No, it's great. It's perfect, Mornay. I like that. That's like a subtle reminder for the people, like, watching the episodes. Like, oh yeah, this is what we're here for. This is what we want to talk about. Now, for those that have no idea what in the world we're even talking about, and shame on you for not watching the pilot already, for God's sakes. But
yeah, what the hell, guys?
what the fuck? Come on. No. In all seriousness, how would you describe The Three Tomes?
The Three Tomes is Twilight, the non-racist parts meets
I was just about to take a drink. Thank God I didn't.
Listen. I love me some Twilight, but that shit got issues.
Oh, it got issues. Of course,
and
it does.
We can't pretend that it doesn't, guys. Like I just.
It was.
Why was Jasper a Confederate soldier? Huh?
Yeah, that's
why, Stephanie. Why did you do that, Stephanie?
That's Stephanie, very questionable at best.
Why did you make all the white vampires call the indigenous boy a dog and like a bunch of like weird stuff?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
But regardless, back to what the Three Tomes. No. I love that aside. That's a fun little like tangent more than anything else. But back to what you were saying. How would you describe the Three Tomes?
Yes. So the Three Tomes, Twilight, the non-racist parts, meets Cardcaptor Sakura, and 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo with a dash of Basket and Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Those are the comps. Those are the comps.
I love just kind of the general, like, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, shake it in, put it in there, get a little nice little pot, there you go, and beautiful little indie animated pilot. Got you right for you, people.
Yep.
I mean, even then, like, just that little description alone, but for those who don't know, just seeing, obviously, the main character, Tammy, struggle with these new abilities that they get out of nowhere, from this wonderful mystical book in a graveyard, which always seems like a wonderful idea. People, let's always do random encampments with a random mysterious book in the middle of a graveyard. That always works out.
When's the last time you've seen a black person in a cemetery at night?
You got
that's the line.
Yeah. That is true. But like having them, and then obviously the involvement of witches, vampires, like all these different aspects. How did this concept even come to you in the first place?
Oh Jesus! All right, let's take it back to 2018, 17.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. Somewhere around 2018.
The late 2010s.
The late 2010s. I was sketching in a sketchbook, and I was thinking about the concept of black characters who are always like the sidekick or like in the side on the friend group that have glasses. And it always felt like a weird like overcompensation of like, we gotta have our diversity in here and we gotta make them seem smart looking so we don't like get yelled at. And I don't know. It was just like a thing that I noticed that I was like, it just feels like a weird like visual trope.
Yeah, it is.
Or like high intelligence. Not that like, again, I'm not saying that dumber. It's just that it felt like a weird like overcompensating kind of thing because it just popped up like everywhere. Like I felt it, like I saw it. Even though this character's kind of a fucking creep, like I saw it with Tucker, like with the glasses. I saw it with and Danny Phantom. I saw it with who's a bald kid from Fairly Parents.
AJ, if I remember correctly.
AJ, why is that little boy bald? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm like, Butch, when I catch you.
I was gonna say, look, there's a lot of things we could be angry for Butch Hartman about, like, and that's just another thing on the list. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and there's another character, but I'm blanking on it. But like, I just remember thinking like, oh, I wonder why this visual trope is the way that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought like, what if I just like twisted it where like your main character, your main black character with fucking Irwin. And then I also thought
Yeah.
about not Irwin. The Big City Greens,
Oh yeah.
Remy.
Remy. There you go. There you go.
Remy. Yeah, Remy. And I was just like, why the fuck? Why we keep doing this? Um, um, and so yeah, I thought like, what if I just switched it and I drew this little black girl with glasses and this like tomboy looking girl. And then I posted on my Instagram like, which one do you think is the main character? Um, and that was it. It
Yeah.
was just literally a sketch born out of like some mild frustration that ultimately didn't go anywhere. Um, and then like a couple months later, I sketched them again and I drew the little black girl and I gave her a name. Her name was Moira, and
Mm.
she had a book and a flashlight, and I drew the tomboy girl again, and her name was Alex. And like the premise of like this little idea was like, yeah, Moira and Alex are hanging out in a graveyard, and Moira's grandma had died, and she's trying to communicate with her with a Ouija board. And I was like, haha, totally not processing any grief with this at all. Tee um,
No,
um,
you nah.
yeah, and then but while using the Ouija board, they like summon a little vampire boy named Greg, who was just a Murdoch Nichols clone.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm sure you've seen the drawing. Yeah,
I think I know
he
which one
just
you're talking about, and yeah, you say Murdoch. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Greg was just a little Murdoch clone. That's all it was. And then it just became like them like ghost hunting, but to what end I don't know. It was just a bunch of doodles in my sketchbook, and then I posted them on Instagram. And then eventually um Greg Moira and Alex got older because they were like 12 and 13.
Okay.
They got older and they became like 15, and Greg no longer was Greg. He had no name, and he was a vampire prince who had issues like it was like on some case closed Detective Conan shit,
Okay.
where like he looks like a little boy, but he was cursed. I don't know. I
Mm.
don't know what I was doing. I don't know. And they had to break the curse, and he really liked Alex or Moira. I don't know. He liked one of them, but they're like, "You're a baby. Like, get out of my face." And he's like, "But I'm not though." Um, but yeah, to what end? I don't know what was happening there. It was just sketches. And then I kept sketching some more. And then Moira's hair changed. And then she had 3 locks in the front instead of 2. And then I added a witch. She had no name, but I just wanted her to be like a little bit more heavy set.
Okay.
And she had like a book, and it was called The Grimoire of Souls.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know, I was channeling Grimoire Vice from Ear Gestalt and Replicant, and it also talked. The book talked.
Oh.
Again, to what end? I don't know. These were just sketches. No, this didn't have a
look. We're currently in
no
like
plot.
we're currently in the brainstorming phases more than anything else of like what can this be, or like this is fun idea. Let's put fun idea out there and see what happens more than anything else.
Literally, they were just sketches. I wasn't really doing anything with them. It was just like some random ass idea that I just kept coming back to every now and then. Like I would sketch something, leave it alone for like a couple months, come back, leave it alone. And then something just kept telling me like, I don't know. I like coming back to these characters, but I don't know what I'm doing with them. And then I thought about the importance of showcasing black love in fantasy spaces, because like I am married to a white European man. Um, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit, right? But I it is not lost on me that in a lot of like fantasy, you don't really see black characters as like love interests, or then you also have disposable black girlfriend or disposable boyfriend. You see that in a lot of media, and just how in like the YA fantasy space, um, because like like movies like movies like Twilight, Warm Bodies, whatever. Just like any of like that, or Juno, like just dumb like YA coming of age bullshit set in the suburbs.
Right.
Like you don't see black people in those at all. It's all white people
It's a bunch of
for the
white
most
people.
part. A bunch of white people. But like being a suburban black kid, like I wanted to see myself reflected in that space, and I also wanted to see like, you know, characters who are black like have an opportunity to like interact in this space like romantically or whatever. And so the vampire prince, I split him in half and he became
Oh.
two characters, and that's how you get Darius and Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And um and again they didn't have names. They didn't have names before. But I also gave new vampire boy a older brother who was like, what if I just took Prince and Virgil from Devil May Cry and then comboed them into one?
You know, that is a combo I never knew I wanted to see, and now that you say that, seeing the character,
You
that makes
see it,
sense. I see it. I see it. It's a good combo.
yeah. Yeah. And then ultimately like I started developing it more, and then the story just kind of became what it is today. A
Yeah.
story about a teenage black girl who lives in the suburbs of Illinois, who's dealing with a lot of change in her life. She's dealing with a recent loss of a family member,
Mm-hmm.
um, dealing with the uncertainty of like being in her last year of high school, her friend knowing what they want to do, but she has no idea what she wants to do,
Right.
and now the sudden change of having magic powers and like what comes with that, and having to deal with being the center of a love triangle.
Yeah. Oh my god, the worst, the biggest hurdle of them all being in the center of a love triangle. Oh no.
Well, I mean, one of them's a little flirty, one of them's a little shy. One of
Yeah.
them thinks this vampire shit's really fucking cool. Would
Yeah.
you like to be one? You don't have to change
Yeah.
ever. You don't have to worry about change. And the other one's like, this shit is kind of ass, bro. Like,
like
I
like
don't like. I wish I could change.
like homie, like straight up, just like you might want to take a step back, take a second to breathe,
Yeah.
because like this isn't it. Trust me,
Hmm.
I've had a little bit of experience in this field. Let's you might not want to consider that.
Yeah. And that
Oh
stuff about like the two ideals about vampirism, obviously that's not in the pilot. That's like something to explore later.
yeah,
And
that's
that
on
kind
later
of like
episodes.
just that yeah, that's just more for like the relationship dynamic of like what there is to offer.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
that's kind of like what the three tomes like that's the journey.
I mean, it's a fantastic journey more than anything else. We'll start off as just like sketches trying to subvert expectations of what people see when they see, you know, little black, glasses kid more than anything else in the cartoon more than anything else. Evolved into this amazing and fun story of, you know, change and love and cool magical stuff happening all at once. Is very crazy more than anything else. Like it's really impressive with the pilot alone more than anything else, what you were able to showcase and what could be expected, because I think it was absolutely insane to even get that pilot out there. What was the ultimate, like, I guess, like, switch in your head to be like, okay, this is a fun concept, let's make this into a pilot? Like, why'd you go forth and make this concept into a pilot?
So I made it into a pilot because like I was drawing these characters so much, they kept coming back to me and they would not leave me alone. Like these little guys just kept being like, "Oh hey," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of my head!" And they're like,
Leave me
"Nah,"
alone.
like no, fucking Akira.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Akira, Akira.
But it's like leave me alone. But also too, like I took a class with uh Patricia Violetto,
Okay.
who is a wonderful writer. And if you ever have the opportunity to take her intro to writing for animation class or her pitch to pilot class, I highly recommend it to everyone because she posts it like every now and then throughout the year. When I first took it, it was through a femme and queer comedy club called the Ruby LA,
Okay.
and she had the intro to writing for animation class, and then I took her pitch to pilot one like right after, so they're kind of like a combo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and well, actually, like before I even did that, I'm friends with Tunerific Tariq
Yes.
and Hats Off Media, D'Angelo Edwards,
Yes. Yes.
and also friends with Offbeat Kiki,
Yeah.
and that entire group, like he kind of partially spearheaded the indie animation like pitch night stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and both D'Angelo and Tariq like had their own ideas, and they both were kind of like goading me and trying to convince me like, no, like those characters, like you really like it, like let's just do something with it,
Yeah.
like you should pitch it, like pitch it. And I was like, I don't know, guys, and I kept waffling around for a while, but then I was like, all right, I will make something, I guess. I'll try something. um oh, I'm an idiot, those things happened in reverse order. I'm sorry, my brain is bad. I took the class first, and then I pitched, and then I did indie pitch night because I made the damn pitch
There you
because it
go.
existed already.
Either
Sorry.
way, like we're gonna put that in the general. Like this is around what happened around the same time, one after
Yeah, this
another,
is
and there's some
yes.
sequence where this happened. We just don't. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I took the class with Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely everybody take it. She's really great.
Yeah.
And I was like scared of writing for a very long time.
Okay.
I was like terrified of it. And I was just like, you know what? Let me take a writing intro to writing for animation class so it can make me a better board artist, so I can stop being afraid of the words. And for the pitch to pilot one, like I was like, I had this idea. Let me see if I can do something with it. And I just learned pretty much what it takes. Like I gained a new respect for writers.
Yeah.
Like I already respected them, but I gained a whole new level of respect because I'm like, damn, y'all cool,
Yeah.
right? And in doing so, I ended up pitching the 3 tomes at pitch night, and people really resonated with the idea and they really liked it. And then I just kind of left it alone for a while, and then fast forward to 24, I had rolled off of the second season of many bow tunes that I was working,
Mm-hmm.
and the industry, it was really bad. WGA strikes,
Yep. Yep.
and just in general, like everything was bad. All the mergers, it was really shitty, and I was unemployed for significantly longer going to be. And this was
Yeah.
the second year in a row that had happened.
Yep.
And I was like, because the same thing happened to me in 2023. And then in
Mm-hmm.
2024, like the industry was just still on a downturn. And I was also pregnant.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Wee.
And yippee, I was pregnant last year. And I was not expecting to be pregnant and unemployed for like 9 fucking months.
Right.
That was a lot. Literally, majority of my pregnancy, I was unemployed, and I was like,
Oh,
it's not good.
that's no.
Yeah,
In this
I was very
economy.
scared. Yeah, right. um, but because I was unemployed and pregnant and going through like I'll just say I was going through a bit of a career emotional turmoil thing.
Right.
That I don't really want
No,
to
that's
last year.
valid. There's a time and place for it, and this is probably not the best time
Yeah,
and place for it.
and all that kind of culminated in me just feeling very creatively stunted, and
Mm-hmm.
also I imagine like pregnancy hormones didn't help. And then I called up my dear friend and creative partner Waymond, and I
Yep.
was like, do you want to just make something? Do you want to do something with the 3 tomes, like finally? And I was like, do you want to direct it? And he was like, yeah,
You
let's
bet.
go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Um, and I originally had always wanted to do an animatic. Like in 2023, I told myself that like if I made this, I would probably do like small animatics in pieces or something like that,
Right.
or like just board it in pieces. Um, bec- um, or maybe make the full thing. I don't know. Like either way, it was not going to be in because I was like, I don't have fucking that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was like, I don't have time for that. And I'm a board artist, so I'll just board it or something.
Right.
And like ask people I know who are really good at action, because I'm more so a drama comedy person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm less so an action person.
There you go. That's fair.
Yeah. Um, and I thought a lot about like my inspiration was Becky Prim,
Oh
Carl Hadraka's
yes.
animatic, and
Yes.
just to see like, yeah, you know what, yeah, like animatics, it's okay, it's okay. And then my friend Kiana dropped her thing
Yes.
last year.
I want to say
Was that last year?
it was either late last year or earlier this year. For people that don't know what we're talking about, Kiana Consmith, I could be butchering the last name, but Kiana Consmith, pretty please, I do not want to be a magical girl.
Yeah, yeah. It was I think it was like last year February, I believe. Um, she dropped hers, and it was just sort of like a reaffirmation that an animatic was okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
like my initial inspiration was Becky Prim, and then Kiana dropping Pretty Please was like a secondary like reaffirmation that like, you know what, yeah, yeah, it's all right, it's all right, we can do this. Like you don't have to make this shit like complicated.
Yeah.
Especially for those of us that like already have that skill, let's just do that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then I just decided like, you know, I'll let's do something, because like I was just not in a good headspace and I wanted to be creative.
There you go.
And I also highly overestimated how much I could do while pregnant. Yeah. So like the three tomes took a bit, like it started around like May of last year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we took a break when I had my daughter, from like September. What is the month before October? Oh my god, I'm dumb.
September.
My
September.
brain is
September.
September. Okay,
Okay.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're
From
good.
from like September to uh February, I took a from three tomes.
Yeah.
Um, because you know I was heavily pregnant around September.
Yeah.
Gave birth in October,
You want to focus on your
and then I
daughter.
yes, and then I started my new job on Sophia the First Royal Magic as a revisionist
Okay.
6 weeks after I gave birth, so
Oh,
I didn't really
lovely.
have a break. Yeah. And then the fires happened in January in
Oh
LA.
my God. Yeah, that
So
too.
so there's just a lot. And then February comes around, and then I like kind of get my team back together, and I'm like, all right, it's been crazy. I took a break. Thank you guys for continuing to like do some stuff while I was gone. Let's get this show back on the road.
Yeah. It's been crazy. I had a kid. I can focus now somewhat.
Yeah. And honestly, everybody that I was like, yeah, everybody on the team was just like, no, you should take a break. What are you doing?
Yeah. That is the proper response. Like, despite today's work mentality, when you have a kid, you probably should focus on the child for a good bit more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but even then, like, even with that kind of timeline or whatnot, what you guys are able to produce in a relatively short amount of time. I mean, even then, like, there's some animatics and there are some like pilots that take years to even get done more than anything else. So like the fact that you're able to put something together and put forth a really fun and incredible concept at the end of the day and just like a really good time. Like the storyboards are absolutely wonderful. Like good job on you as well as the other people that did amazing storyboards. Like for example, I could tell Tariq's art style the instant I saw the storyboards in it, because he has a very distinct art style to his stuff, and like
he does, yes.
but like even then, like it was very well done. It was very fantastic. The voice acting you're able to get on board for it. I mean, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but even just like Lakira, Corey Wilder, just the incredible people that you had to bring those voices to life or whatnot. Wonderful casting on your end, by the way. I gotta say, like
Thank you.
Yeah.
There were some people that I was eyeing for a while,
Mhm.
actually, and that were also eyeing me. It was very
Oh,
funny because like Lakira was like very aware of the three tomes
right.
from its inception, and every time I would post about it, she was like replying to stuff,
Mhm.
and I was just like, you. And then I listened to her reel again when I was getting ready to cast, and I was like, oh yeah, she's the one.
Yeah,
She's
that's the one.
that's the one right there. That's the one. And it's just been such a pleasure getting to know her as a friend beyond the work, because that's
Right.
something that's super important to me. As a I guess as a showrunner, I can say now.
Yeah.
As an indie showrunner, that like yeah, like you know, you can be like, all right, we did the work, bye. But I don't want to like just view the people that I work with on a team as like cogs in a machine.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
we are all creatives At the end of the day, we're all people. We all have feelings, and it's just good to like know people beyond like the work level. With their as far as like they're comfortable,
Yeah,
obviously, but
obviously.
just getting to be closer friends with so many of people on the crew, and with the voice actors, because like my voice acting network is not robust at all.
Right.
My artist network is very vast because of the line of work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But my voice actor network is non-existent, and I'm very thankful to Kiana again, because she's very good. She's a good friend and has been a good emotional support um during the process of making this. Because like we're coworkers.
Yeah.
Like we're on different shows, but we're in the same building.
Yeah.
And like we talk at work on occasion, and I would ask her some questions sometimes, especially when it came to like asking voice actors, because I was like nervous too, because like I just didn't know anybody.
Right. No, absolutely.
And she was like, no, you just got to do it, you just got to do it. And I was like, so all right, I gotta stop being shy.
Yeah,
um
exactly.
and I'm thankful to her for that, because like honestly, if I hadn't talked to her about it, like I probably wouldn't have had voice actors for my pilot, because I was just really shy to do anything
that's
about
valid. I can understand that mentality more than anything else. But I mean, even then, like, despite pushing past that shyness, and the people that you were able to get on, like, they not only like delivered, but they delivered like excellently. Like, I fully believe Lakira S. Tammy like the entire time. Like, obviously I'm a little biased. I have had Lakira on the podcast before as well, and fantastic guest, wonderful person, love them to death as well. But like, they truly helped deliver the vision that you had in mind. And I think like, you talking about being a showrunner and wanting to make sure that you're, good friends with, like, you building, I guess, once again, a community with the people that are helping you with the show in one form or fashion. Because yeah, this is your vision, like this is your baby more than anything else. But like, these creatives are more than happy to give a little bit of their time to help you out, bring this thing into reality, and putting their own little bit of charm and flair into it to put forth something incredible. Like, why would you not
Absolutely.
why would you not want to like have them, like, be on good terms with them, like get a chance to chat with them, maybe even get some like ideas that you may have never even thought about when you're chit chatting, or just having casual like late night Discord calls with them or something like that,
Oh, absolutely. And shout out to Yokai's voice actor, Noah Balachu, in particular. He cares so much. Noah, if you are listening, you are amazing. I mean, everybody's amazing, obviously. But I just think about like the level of like, oh, I'm all in that Noah has. It's just very funny to me and very endearing. And again, like everybody's really all in. Everybody's very all in. But like Noah in particular, like he and I have talked about stuff sometimes about like Yokaya as a character. I've given him like some future spoilers about like what I would like to do, and he's just like, "Oh, that's so cool." And he's like, "All right, I got to be prepared when." And I'm like, "Wait, when? Not if?" And he's like, "Listen." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You are okay."
Look, I have talked to a good like group of voice actors in one form or fashion. Shout out to my buddy Wiley Coyote, actually, for this one in particular. But he has always told me, like, if you're gonna go into voice acting, you good?
Oh yeah, my chair.
It's like all of a sudden, like you're already low on the screen. All of a sudden, it's just doop. But
yeah, I hit the button on my chair. Whoopsie.
Oh boy. But no, again, shout out to Wile E. Coyote for this one. He's always said that whenever you get into voice acting, or whenever you're doing voice acting, like, you have to just like be unapologetically like all in when it comes to that kind of stuff. So it's not just I think I could do it. It's like, director asks you to do something. Let's see what I could do. Let's go all in. Like, if I have to shout at the top of my lungs, I'll find a way to make myself louder somehow. If I have to act like the character, if I have to act like my character broke its leg, I might have to actually break my leg in order to get to that point across more than anything else, Like, I advise voice actors to not break their legs when they're doing performances, but
no, don't.
But regardless, like, so hearing that Noah was just like all in, like, you say the word, I'm gonna recite it as best as I can. That is a great mentality to have, especially with this fun, unique scenario that you have of, again, like this, like, magical fantasy, love triangle romance, like all these different elements or whatnot, like you can't help but like have a team that's just all like, look, this is weird, I'm all in for weird, let's do this.
Yeah. And like it was very sweet because when I posted the characters online just to sort of like gauge interest, like people were very very like receptive to them, like people really liked them. And Noah DM'd me and was just like, yeah, I know this is like kind of informal, but like if you want to like I mean I would love to audition if you needed it. And although he just seemed kind of shy in his DM, and I was just like, okay, because I never had anybody do this.
Right.
And then I listened to his reel because I was struggling trying to figure out who Yogai I should be,
Right.
because I was just like, do I get a, like I was trying to find like somebody who is Lithuanian, but
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want anybody like fake an accent or anything. It was more so
Right.
like if you have a European accent, then that's fine. I'm not one for forcing people to make up fake accent.
Right.
Hence
Right.
why like I really wanted a black British woman or
Yeah.
femme person to be Shirley. And McFarlane, or Shaka, she was great. She was
Shaka
great.
was
She was really
perfect.
great.
I love Shirley so much. Shirley is a fantastic character.
I'm very grateful to Shaka because 9-hour time difference for recording.
Oh yeah, no, that's always, it's always fun, especially for where
Yeah.
you are. Geez, like I had a little bit of a little bit of a behind the baseball for what I'm doing or whatnot. But I had an interview with someone for the podcast that's going to be the following episode after yours, and the
Hmm.
person's based out of Italy. But the thing is,
Oh,
I'm on the East Coast, so it's only like a 6 hour difference for me. So like, yeah, accounting for like the additional 3 hours from where I am to you on the West Coast, yeah, that's always a fun challenge to try to juggle.
yeah, definitely a challenge. But back to Noah though, like yeah, when I listened to his reel, because I hadn't heard of him before. I listened to his reel and I was just like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
that guy right there. I was like, yeah, that guy.
there you
And then
go.
the same thing kind of happened with Corey for Darius. Like Darius and Yogai are very like they were very particular for me because I didn't
Hmm.
want to like just I didn't want to like settle, I guess. I wanted like and it's weird because like I didn't know what I wanted fully, but I knew that like I was looking for a specific sound, and if I was like if I hear it, then I'll know.
Hmm.
And it was just very hard trying to figure out like who I wanted for Darius. And then I saw Corey's reel and I was just like, I've never heard of you before, but okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do this. And again, and Corey was also very excited. I emailed them like early in the morning, and then I was like, cool, I'll get an email probably like a day later. So 30 minutes later, oh my God, this sounds so cool. Yeah, let's go. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right.
I'll say, luckily, I had heard about Corey beforehand because the co-showrunner of this podcast, TipsyJHearts, she's been working on her own like animatic pilot or something along the lines of that for a show that she's developing called The Evil Little Thing, and Corey's one of the leads in that show as well. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that floating around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, like, yeah, hearing Corey on this or whatnot, especially the performance that they give as well when it came to this thing,
Hmm.
like, it's pie in the sky more than anything. Like, I'm not joking when I say every voice actor you had for this thing knocked it out of the park, really helping bring that vision to life or whatnot, making it seem more animated than it
100%.
already was.
Yeah, and Alonzo's voice actor, Justice Slocum, who people listening, if you played Persona 3 Reload, Justice was Shinjiro Aragaki.
There we go.
And I had been a really big fan of Shinjiro as a character, and I really loved Justice's rendition of it. And Justice was one of like the first people that I wanted to reach out to. And I initially thought about having Justice be Darius actually, but then when I
Oh,
listened to him, be Shinjiro again, because it had been a minute, because since I had finished and beat P3 Reload, I was just like, oh no, we're switching that. That.
yeah.
Hold on a minute. This sounds better for
Hold up
Alonzo.
one.
Okay,
Hold
hold
up.
on a
Wait a
minute.
minute.
There's something going on here. My brain is working. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
and Anjali, I had had my eye on them for a while as Sia
Hmm.
potentially, and we had been mutuals like online for a while as well. So and Anjali was also very excited and like the idea of the project, and you know all of them. And my friend Virginia, who introduced me to Shaka, because both Shaka and Virginia are musical theater actresses. They're
Okay.
less so, yeah, they're less so voice actors and more so like theater.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Shaka was like, she was very excited when she heard about it from Virginia. And she was like, "Oh my God, I want to do this. It sounds so great." But yeah, all the VAs are just like, they're very, very sweet people, very, very, very amazing, very talented. And I'm just really happy to have gotten to know them again beyond just them working on the pilot. Like, I've genuinely become friends with these people, and like,
Yeah.
I really appreciate them. And I'm so thankful to them. I'm so thankful to like my entire team, because it wouldn't be possible without them. Like,
Absolutely.
it's just so important to me to cultivate an environment that, similar to how I did when I was running Black and Animated, that I was like, you know, I don't want this is not your priority. If you have like your 9 to 5 job or other things going on, please focus on that. And I never want to pressure you or never want to like be excessive. And if you can't commit to something or like something comes up, just let me know. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that that transparency led to a good environment. Like, I checked on some people sometimes who'd be like, "Hey, I just hope I'm not like asking too much," and they're like, "Nah, dude, like I'm good. This is actually pretty great."
There you go.
And too, like the crew itself was comprised of a bunch of people who it was a mix of professionals like myself who were either unemployed or who were employed and were looking for a better creative outlet,
Mm-hmm.
or folks who were like on the verge of breaking in and wanted to like really like hone their skills on the project and like use that to like get better. And yeah, it was just important to me to make sure I got people to work with that knew how to do certain things that I knew that I couldn't. Like, I'm not an editor. I'm not. My timing is fine, but there's something about when you work with an animatic editor professionally,
Yep.
or when you work with an editor professionally, you understand that like they know how to make certain things sing way better. Or for action storyboards, like Ernesto and Kayla Lash, or Ernesto Alonso, like the two of them, um, really, really knocked it out of the park with the action sequence.
Oh yeah.
Um, because Kayla, she and I were coworkers on Proud Family, but Proud Family, like, it was kind of holding her back, and that's not a
Mm.
dig. That's just like she is an action person, and
Right.
she thrives in that, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that she's on like a cool action show now, and she was very happy to help out. And Ernesto is very talented, and Kylie Gay, who also did like the tail end sequence, where Yogaya, Darius, and Alonzo like confront everybody.
Yep.
Um, Kylie has those feature sensibilities. Those boards, I'm sure you can tell, they feel a little more feature-esque,
Yes.
because Kylie worked at Disney Feature on the Tiana series. Um,
Um.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Rest in peace to
But
that one, unfortunately.
yeah, but Kylie's a very, very talented board artist, and she also knows how to get those like shoujo Doki Doki vibes. And I was like,
There you go.
you're doing that part.
I, speaking of like those certain vibes or whatnot, I have to know because obviously, like, I will say what 95% of this pilot was animatic, but you had a couple of golden animated like sequences here and there and whatnot. My personal favorite one is obviously the first one when you have Tammy looking at Darius for the first time or whatnot, and, like their little interaction with each other or whatnot. Who was the one in charge of the animated segments? Because you guys like not like that. I don't. I laughed a little too hard when I saw the animated segment more than anything else. Cause like it's in the middle of this intense like moment more than anything else. Like you could be potentially dead, then all of a sudden it's just like oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cringe because Tammy is cringe, but she is free. And she's also
Exactly.
fucking stupid because it's like, girl, lock the fuck in. What are
Yeah.
you doing? This is the life or death situation. You're out here staring at this motherfucker, but he's also staring back at you, so they're both fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're
It's
both
fine.
idiots. It's fine.
Because they're teens, they're stupid. Don't
Exactly.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. That would be a wonderful team at Love Letter Studios,
There you go.
um, who helped out on those animated sequences, and also but yeah, that particular sequence was done by Love Letter, and Love Letter Studios is a Black-owned anime studio run by CEO Kennedy Freeman, who also is the showrunner of another Magical Girl pilot that is in the works called Towards Galaxy's
Towards
End.
Galaxy End. Yep. I was gonna say I know when I had Lakira on the podcast, we were talking about that one, and I may or may not have also reached out to Kenzie and maybe trying to get them on the podcast at some point in the near future. Just hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge to the audience at home.
Absolutely. Kennedy is a phenomenal support and a wonderful friend. And yeah, her studio really knocked it out of the park on those sequences.
Mm-hmm.
And I got additional help from a couple of friends who freelance in anime solo. Shout out to my friend Basil, who animated the sequence with Yogaya getting his shit rocked.
Mm-hmm.
He did the keys for that, and then Love Letter kind of came in and like fixed it up with in betweens, and another friend who Zombie Bomb, who is part of Capapon Studios.
Yeah, I've had them on the podcast as well.
They did some cleanup animation for me, and then another friend who I worked with on Proud Family, although they were part of a vendor studio, Jillian, she came in with like some cleanup and animation as well. So a big collaborative effort, big group of people just like collabing on a project. And I also learned a bit of like color stuff myself, because I colored a couple of the sequences in Clip Studio Paint, because like that's how we did the animation, because I was going for a hybrid anime western style. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
and that's what I was looking for. Just like a kind of a combo in a way. And yeah, coloring is interesting. In Clip, I haven't colored animation since my Toon Boom Harmony days in college.
Wow.
So learning a new program, I was like, I was like, what?
Does not compute.
Like, I don't get it. It's got to get done, but I'll figure it out.
We'll get there in the end. No, that's absolutely just incredible more than anything else. Like I said, the collaborative effort more than anything else to put forth, again, such a fun animatic pilot that if, again, the people at home have not watched this at this point, you're missing out, sincerely. Like, it is I could not tell you how much I enjoyed it so much, and it just makes me excited for more at the end of the day. I am curious, though, at least when it comes to the pilot, there are so many incredible moments, incredible interactions or whatnot. Is there a personal favorite moment out of it for you more than anything else?
Favorite? I mean, I have two favorite moments because I can't reveal anything. But my favorite moments are when Tammy and Darius are staring at each other like fucking dumbasses, and when Yogaya saves Tammy and he like winks at her and she's just like, ah!
There's a reason why those sequences were specifically animated.
Well, that one wasn't animated.
Well, sorry, yeah, that's right. It was right after that, or it was not too long after that part was animated. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I really enjoy just her like, oh my god, cute boys, like moments, because I mean, I don't know, I was like that in high school. I was like, oh my god, cute boys, cute boys. So I was just like, oh yeah, like, you know, that's really cool.
That's fair.
Listen, I know some people might think it's cringe, but teenagers are cringe.
Yeah, it's like
teenagers are cringe. It's fine.
Some people might think that's cringe, and that's the point.
That's just the point.
It does also. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I was just gonna say too that like I'm really like happy with the music as well.
Oh yes.
The composer Acro really came through, and because I was looking for a very Silent Hill 3 vibe with the music.
Okay.
Because there's a particular song in Silent Hill 3 called "End of Small Sanctuary," and if people go look it up, it's very good track by the composer Akira Yamaoka, and "End of Small Sanctuary" kind of like encompasses that sort of like millennial twee, as they call it, vibe of like you feel like you're chilling, hanging back with your buddies, and it plays in the beginning sequence of Silent Hill 3 when protagonist Heather Mason is like on the phone with her dad, Harry Mason, who is from Silent Hill 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted a track like that to be in my pilot and also to be kind of like the vibe that carries through. And Acro knocked it out of the park. He just he was like a little nervous about like magical girl music and also doing that kind of vibe too, but nah, he did it, and I highly recommend him as a composer for anyone that like needs someone who's just a jack of all trades. I feel like um, he's very phenomenal, and also anybody that might need contract work for like animation, like please hit up Love Letter Studios. Like
Yeah.
they are a wonderful studio that you should support. You know.
Their animated
Um.
segments were sincerely like a I am not joking when I say they were the highlights of the pilot for me at least. Like
Mhm.
obviously the interactions I can go on gushing about all the different elements or whatnot, but sincerely like the animated segments were very well done. I'm so glad that Love Letter was able to step in and make those like just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, yeah. They really helped out, and like the solar animators that helped out too. Like they were all super great. Again, it was a labor of love. It was a really wonderful team effort, and like I get kind of emotional when I think about it because I just have like these dumb little guys in my brain, and
Yep.
people want to see them, and people wanted to help me make this, and I just feel very blessed and thankful for all of them, you know. And it just means a lot to me. Like I feel like I cannot express the gratitude that I have for the team. Like it I'm just so grateful.
Absolutely. And I can honestly see why, seeing again something that you have been tinkering with here and there since again 2017, 2018, or whatever it is, to here you are right now with this absolutely amazing finished product that again I cannot emphasize this enough. People need to go out there and watch and show that love and support to it because it's absolutely amazing. I do unfortunately have to ask this question. Like, you got the pilot out there, it's done, you were able to take that first step. What's next for the three tomes?
Well, the thing that's next for it is just trying to promote it because the algorithm is beating my ass right
Yeah,
now.
that's fair. That's fair.
As a small creator, I mean, I don't know. You would think that I'm sure people listening are like, "Wait, what do you mean they say that they're small?" And it's like, because like I'm a professional, and it's like, well, I'm small because I don't have like the fandom footprint, I suppose, that like
Right.
some other creators have online. Yes, I have like the micro niche celebrity status, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
from my organization, but I'm not like part of it anymore. So it's I kind of have to reestablish who I am
Right.
from a bit more, and like uh, it's just and like YouTube in general, like just posting on YouTube. I'm like algorithm stuff is like very new to me. I had like a at this point, I guess it would have been like last week. Like by the time this comes out, it would have been a week ago. But like I had like a talk with Kiana on like her stream because like I posted about like how the algorithm feels kind of weird, and she hit me up and was like, "You want to let's we can talk about it." And then it turned into a stream on her channel because other people were also asking the same question.
Yeah.
They saw our interaction, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, we're just making a stream. Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it." Um, um, and just learning about algorithm stuff it hurts my brain.
Yeah,
It
no,
hurts my
trust me.
brain.
Look, I'm if you're a niche micro celebrity, I'm like niche nano celebrity at this point with what I'm doing and that kind of stuff. And like, look,
Mhm.
I don't know anything about the algorithm because like I try to like navigate it as best I can, but like YouTube is so weird. It's so weird with like what they want and then what they don't want. They want to promote this, they don't want to promote that. X Y Z, up down, left right, B A, start, select. All that weird jazz. Like so I get that
Yeah.
struggle more than anything else of like trying to promote it more than anything.
Yeah, it truly is very stinky sometimes. Because like I've got Tumblr, Blue Sky, Twitter, uh, TikTok, uh, What else is there?
Most of the socials. Let's just go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I have a Reddit account, and I've been posting it in like the R indie animation Reddit just to.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I asked my husband. I was like, "Is Reddit weird? Will people be weird on there?"
They
I don't
can be.
know.
They can be. And if look, I've used Reddit here and there mainly for podcast stuff or whatnot. And there's obviously good pockets. There are some wonderful pockets when it comes to Reddit. And then there's just the random people that just come in and post random stuff. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is Reddit.
Mhm. I will say that like even though like as of recording this we just hit 20K,
Yeah.
which like is a lot to me. Like I know that like I guess in the grand scheme of YouTube it's like not like crazy numbers, but like I don't know 20,000 people like staring at your thing that you made is
Nope.
kind
Trust
of a
me.
lot.
Look, I'll
um
say,
look,
look, I'll put this into context. I've been doing this podcast for over 240 episodes at this point, and I think I've only had two maybe episodes that have even gotten past 20K. So, like, yeah, that's certainly not nothing.
it truly is like a weird game when it comes to this algorithm stuff. But at the end of the day, like I've spoken to like the YouTube friends, and again like spoken to Kiana about it, and just trying to like not let it get to me, I suppose,
Yeah,
because like I don't want to like get caught up in the numbers game when I'm just trying to make something for
exactly.
to like to like share my story, because that's what it's ultimately about. And the response has been pretty overwhelming too. Like there have been people on Tumblr that have like latched onto it pretty hard, and like I've gotten some fan art already.
There you go.
Uh I got somebody like did like a on Blue Sky. Somebody did a animation video that's like a celebration of like vampires everywhere, and
Wow.
They put Darius and Alonzo in it, and it looks really cool.
Hell yeah.
Um, like it's crazy. Like I've just it there's been like a overwhelming amount of support, and also like support from other indie people too. Um shout out to Joshua David King of the creator of Project Super Crush. We've been like supporting each other and sharing each other's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cheyenne of the comic shop, she's very kind. I've seen her like share my stuff, and like I share comic book shop stuff. Just
Oh
like
yeah.
um and in general, I think like the indie community has just been very supportive and trying to just like we're all trying to like help each other out, I think. We're all just little guys making our little things, and I like that we're trying to help each other out, and I think that that's so important, you know.
It really is. Absolutely.
And I I'm you know what? I need to go back.
Oh.
Sorry, because I was talking about voice actors, and I completely forgot about like shout out to Parker as well for helping me. Um, um, Parker Simmons,
Yeah.
good, really cool guy, really cool guy. I just
That was a sorry.
it was
I gotta say, of all the names I saw in like the credits or whatnot, I saw that one. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. He's a trooper. He's really funny. Um, he like just like DM'd me one day. And was I think I posted the characters like on Blue Sky as well. That's what happened after I posted the characters, and he was like, "If you need like scratch or something, like just let me know. Like I like helping people stuff."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sure, yeah. Actually, do you want to be the spooky black void?" And, and and he was like, "Yeah, sure. When do you need it?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have to rush. Like maybe like end of the week." And he's like, "Okay." And then he emailed me the line.
There you go.
And it was just supposed to be scratch until I found somebody else. But then it was just too good that I was
Right.
like, "Oh, well, I'm keeping that." So I'm truly thankful to Parker. And sorry, I just have to mention another thing that like that sequence also was done by board artist Dana Barnes, who was a former coworker of mine on Mini Botoons. Really
Okay.
wonderful action guy. He did that sequence with Darius and Alonzo in the cave in Lord Chaos, and yeah, it's just really good. And like Tariq's like good comedy sequences in the opening
Yes.
sequence.
Yes, they are.
I don't know. Sorry, I could go down the list of
No,
like every
I know.
fucking body,
No, I
like,
know,
but like
right?
truly, like the entire team, like everybody is just so talented. Like my revisionists were like so cool, and Oh my god, like truly, if you whoever is listening to this, please pay attention to the credits of the pilot
Yes.
and on YouTube, please look at the description. I have everyone's credits listed out. I have some portfolios listed out as well for people. Any one of those people, for whatever they did for me for the pilot. If you need somebody, you need to hire somebody, please reach out to them. Like they are so talented. Like there's a wealth of talent here, and I
Absolutely.
just I just really want, that their experience to be shared with the world, and like I'm sure that there's someone in the list of like my crew that that you could hire for like your team, or even if you are a industry person listening to this and you're trying to staff up. I know it's crazy right now in our industry, but if you are like staffing up for a show that's coming up, please
Mm-hmm.
look at my credits list. There is a wealth of talent in there that you might be sleeping. Please.
Absolutely. There's plenty of incredible people that would be a fantastic addition to whatever you need done. I can attest this as
hmm
someone that loves that pilot more than anything else.
So, what to expect next for the three tomes? Just kind of going back to that. In addition to the algorithm like beating the hell out of me and me
Mm-hmm.
fighting it, um, and like learning stuff, I guess, and just trying to then get it out there to people.
Right.
Um, I I really want to like I don't want the pilot to be the end.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want it to be. These characters have become so important to me and so near and dear to my heart, and just telling Tammy's story of dealing with grief and dealing with change and like processing all of that, and also like uh learning about like positive relationships and whatnot in her life. um i I really want to keep telling that story. um Seeing like as I mentioned, like it just became really important to me that um I showcase like black characters in this sort of like YA like kind of fantasy space.
Mm-hmm.
Um because this is the kind of shit that I love,
Yeah.
and I just never saw myself in it growing up. Um and now I'm like Miles Morales, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has resonated with so many people already um, makes me kind of emotional. Because at Lightbox, I was handing out like little pamphlets with a QR code of the three tomes just to do a little bit of promotion. Because I was like, if I'm gonna go, um, might as well like tell people about the pilot.
Right.
And I literally went up to a lot of people and I was just like, "You look like you like black magical girls. Do you like? Do you also like witches? Do you also like vampires? Do you like black women in vampire love triangles?"
There
People
you
were
go.
like, "What? Sign me the fuck up!" And I was like, "Here you go. Watch my pilot. It's on YouTube right now." And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, yeah!" And my show my co P slash director had these posters as like a gift for me. Waymond printed out these really nice posters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this artwork is a little outdated because I redrew Darius's hair. Don't think about it. Don't
That's
worry
fair.
about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
um, yeah, and then he also gave me um this as well. This wonderful printout
Oh.
of like an illustration from our ending credits with the main cast
Right.
as like a celebration gift when we ran it when he met me up I can't speak when he met with me at Lifebox.
There you go. There you go. You got
And
there.
yes, when I got there. But at Lightbox, like I ran into a couple of people that like recognized me from because I was wearing my a button with like my icon on it,
Mm-hmm.
and from like Twitter and stuff. And some people were like, "Oh my god, I watched the pilot. It was so cool." Or there was a young black woman, I can't remember her name, but she told me she cried after watching the pilot.
Oh.
Um, she said she cried because she had just came from a panel from the organization 9B Collective. For people who don't know, they are a collective started by a couple of like Black Pixar folks,
Okay.
and it's just a collective of like artists that like uh you can contract out for your projects. So like 9B has worked with like Black Panther. They've worked on like the Little Mermaid like preschool show, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she went to the panel that 9B had, and it was about like Black projects and like Black excellence and whatnot, just like in the creative space. And then she had my pilot queued up to watch, and she watched it right after. And she said she started like getting really emotional and crying because she said
Oh.
in combination with that panel and then watching my pilot, she said the pilot was really good, but also like it was just a display of such Black joy that she hadn't really seen or felt in a while, and
Yeah.
it just really overwhelmed her. And I think that that kind of encapsulates the reason why I don't want to stop with just the pilot,
Right.
because it means so much to me, but because it is touching the hearts of people already. Again, like I'm not like doing a bajillion views, but like the people that have seen it, like it is resonating with them, you know? And there was someone on Blue Sky that had a very profound, uh, a very profound, I almost said tweet, a very profound,
Post.
yeah, a very profound post, uh, and I want to read it to you. It's
Okay.
really short, but I think it's very important to just say it. It's by Destiny Howe, and they said something I say a lot is let Black kids go to Narnia as shorthand for there should be more stories where Black characters get to be centered in the magical adventures they've often been excluded from. So projects like this always make me so happy. I'm looking forward to more from this team. And that right there, that's that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
That we're just not in these certain genres because mainstream Hollywood just for some reason thinks that a face that looks like mine in Lord of the Rings doesn't work, which is stupid. A
Yeah.
face that looks like mine, I don't know, fighting vampires or being around vampires doesn't work, and that's stupid. I have Louis de Poindulac right
Yeah.
now making out with Lestat de Leoncourt in Interview
Absolutely.
with a Vampire, and I fucking love it. It's a really amazing
Shout
show.
out, shout out to Riley Ritchie on that one. Absolutely.
It's so good,
Yeah.
and yet, like we're still like the mainstream space like being held back, and I think that's why you have so much of like so many Black indie creators like Cheyenne doing comic shop or like doing their own stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and and that's also a really amazing project. If you haven't seen comic shop, guys, please go watch that. I'm
Right?
so I know we're talking about me, but like there's just so much good stuff out there. Sorry.
Look, hey,
um
look, this podcast is always going to champion creatives and artists in one form or fashion. So yeah, we're more than happy to shout out like all these other creative, incredible people, whether it's people that have helped you out with what you're doing or people that are doing incredible stuff on their own. Like you said, the
mhm.
comic shop. The fact that there was the fact that we were that is also like an indie funded thing, like Kickstarter funded and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm,
and they were
mhm,
able to
mhm.
make that into a reality more than anything else. Like that's it's
Yeah,
it's really incredible. It's awesome. I'm so glad that they got the chance to make it.
it's so good, and I really hope that I can just like keep continuing to make more and more of the three tomes
Yeah,
and like really share that world with everyone. And I'm already in the process of like figuring out episode 2.
there you
Um,
go.
I mean, I have I have the story beats for the entirety of the series like
Yeah,
pretty much set.
you got the general
It's just
roadmap more than anything else.
yeah, I've got the roadmap pretty much set, all the main beats. It's just getting there. That's
Yeah,
gonna be what I have to figure out, and I'm looking forward to episode. I'm looking forward to episode 2. I can't give you a promised date for that,
right.
but it is definitely something that is I'm going to do my damnedest to make happen.
Absolutely.
And I guess in between that, I'll just keep like sharing little bits and pieces of the world through like doodles and comics just to kind of keep people aware of the characters, and also just for me too, because like I want to keep drawing them. I want to keep sharing them. Yeah.
Absolutely. That should be the end goal more than anything else. I mean, especially with like the incredible thing you got to do with just this pilot alone, but even taking like a one more step back and thinking about just like your art journey as a whole more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like from being the kid that watched, Bambi and seeing how, the animation was done with like layers of glass to here you are right now, years in the industry that you could only have dreamed of being a part of and putting out a story that not only speaks to you, but a community that wants to hear that voice more than anything else. Does it amaze you more or less how far you've been able to develop as an artist?
It really does. Honestly, through the three tomes, I think in combination of working on three tomes and also working on working as a artist in animation, like professionally, like outside of being a production person, um, I my art has improved dramatically. Like if you look at the very first three tomes poster, that's when I was still like in production management. I think it looks dookie, personally.
Well,
I think it looks like
that's because you've got years of hindsight and you've seen what you've been able to do since then. So I can understand.
Yeah. Maybe somebody else doesn't think it's dookie, but when I look at it, I'm just like, that looks like dookie. Um, but I look at the new poster I made and I'm like, wow, I've learned how to draw.
There you
again.
go.
You know, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I figured out how to draw for the second time.
There you go.
But I think that just sort of lends itself to like working drawing every day for my 9 to 5, where I have to figure out how to draw things I normally wouldn't and improve there. So that lent itself to that. And also a friend kind of giving me advice on like, oh, you're not using this tool in Clip Studio Paint? This might make your lines better if you want. And I was like, like, oh my god. and then it just kind of like made my brain explode and I was like, oh god, that works. Oh my god.
There you go. There you go, people. So if you know something that can help your friends out, please tell them.
Yeah, literally. I do that all the time with people. Like I got a friend who I had several friends who were like, man, I'm always a storyboard pro and I'm like coloring in my characters so that way they have a white background. And I'm like, you can just use the automat, right? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, there's a tool that will just save you time and you could just do that.
There you go.
And I do it for them and they're like, oh my god.
I mean, regardless, it's incredible to hear kind of like it's incredible to know more than anything else, like not only the community you've been able to develop, but like how much you've been able to grow as an artist and seeing what you've been able to do at this point and what could even be to come more than anything else. Because I cannot wait to see what's next with the three tomes. But for this next question, if I may, Bre, what if I give you more or less the dream scenario? Go a little above and beyond with this next question.
Okay.
Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you and I'm like, look, Bre, we have seen not only the incredible stuff you've been able to do, but like the incredible community you've been able to build around you, and we know that you are ready made to get something out there into the world. You just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that point more than anything else. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be giving back to the animators and such, make sure they have like a living wage, be able to get health insurance, hashtag stand with animation forever and always.
Hell yeah.
But right now we are focusing on you and you alone. We'll focus on everyone else in a little bit. We promise. You have our word. We'll take care of that. But if given this opportunity, what would be the dream Bre Navickas project?
The dream project.
Yes.
Oh boy. Like outside of the three tomes?
I mean, it could be just the completion of the three tomes if that's the dream project more than anything else.
I guess the dream project is just hold on a second.
Okay.
My baby is crying and I need to close the door.
That's fair enough.
Sorry.
No.
I just heard her start to scream and I'm like, I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm going to close the door.
I didn't hear it, but then you said something, you're like, oh, but baby is screaming, and then I heard it like at the tail end of you saying that. So I mean, regardless, that's valid. It's understandable. It's good. I can edit that.
All right. So the dream project, I suppose, would be yeah, I guess it would just be finishing out the 3 tomes because like, I don't I don't know, maybe I'm, like, holding myself back a little by saying, like, "Yeah, I just wanna do that because like,
I
I
mean,
do have other ideas.
okay,
I have an idea that I had in college called Between Thieves about these 2 treasure hunters. Um,
right,
one is a one is a former sharecropper, and the other one is, like, a former, like, baker's assistant, but he's, like, abused and, like, beaten up. It's, like, not as bad.
yeah,
Um, and 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 they're in, like, a alternate reality, like, 1930s America.
okay,
Um, so it's just, like, a different world, like, kinda steampunk punkish as well, and they go on they, like, "I'm tired of this shitty life," and they go, like, treasure hunting, and then they end up, like, becoming partners, maybe even more, wink, wink, it's really fucking
oh.
gay. Romance! We gotta have romance,
I
guys,
was, I,
and
I'll tell you what. How about compromise instead of having to choose one project or another? What if the thing we put the money into is the studio for you to be able to go forth and make these things a possibility on multiple projects, being able to give you the funds that you need, hire the proper people, and get the chance to focus on these projects and make them a reality.
that probably would be the ideal. I would like to, just have the money to have to the studio that could like potentially do both projects because
Yeah.
those are the two things floating around in my head that are the most developed. Um, there are like two other things, but I don't really want to get into them.
Fair enough.
Um, uh, maybe you'll see doodles of them on it because I do
Okay.
doodle them sometimes. Um, but yeah, like Between Thieves and the Three Tomes are like the main things that I would like to develop fully if possible. Just because both stories are pretty like close to me. If anybody ever like looks my name up, you might find some old sorry, you might find some old Between Thieves shit floating around the internet.
Yeah.
Like my student film from college.
There you
It's
go.
it's really bad. It's really bad. Please, please, no bully. Please, no
No,
bully.
please don't
Please,
bully.
please, no bully,
Look,
guys.
this is a safe space here. We all, a lot of people that have watched this podcast, they've all had that college experience. They look back on their college stuff and they can't help but laugh because it's like, dear God,
Yeah,
I actually put this out there, and we all get
right.
it. Um,
But in
but
order, it definitely. But between the two, like in order, it definitely would be finishing up Three Tomes
oh,
first. Like if I
absolutely.
can, if I can just if I had enough money to, you know, maybe work with like I don't know somebody like um, all these networks scare me. I don't even know who I would want to work with. To be honest, they're all fucking terrifying
Yeah,
because
that's
they'll
valid.
change because there's too much stuff. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, and they'll change your shit. So I don't even know. But like if
Whichever
there
one,
was a
I'll
net,
say, whichever one,
whichever one is nice to
no, I'll
me.
say whichever one decides to give you the least amount of their own creative input and just says, "You do your
Yeah,
thing. Like you let us know
yeah,
what you want to do. We'll put it out there. Don't worry."
yeah. Whoever is nice to me, if I could work with you like it, then let's do it. As long as you're nice to me,
There you
please.
go.
And if you just give me my 3 seasons, there are 3 tomes. We're only dealing with one in the pilot. That's why it's
Okay.
called that.
Okay.
That's why it's called that, guys. If you give me 3 seasons, please, that's all I want. Maybe a OVA where they go to the beach. I
Yeah.
totally I totally haven't sketched it out already in a storyboard. Don't worry about it.
I mean, who doesn't want a beach episode? That should be a standard one. That was the one thing we were robbed from the Owl House because they even teased it.
Beach episodes are fun because you can get kind of silly with them. Because it's
Exactly.
just like, well, we're going to the beach. But for me, it would be a beach episode at the lake because it's Illinois.
That
So
is
going to
yep
Lake
that
Michigan.
yep Lake Michigan. That's definitely the vibe more than anything else. Um,
Hmm.
but sadly, we do gotta get down from the dream scenario, and we unfortunately have to get back to reality. And I'll ask the ever so generic question: where do you hope to see yourself, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
um,
No, mood. That is a goddamn vibe.
I I hope to see myself less stressed.
Yes.
Um, I hope to see myself in better health. Not that my health is bad. Like I'm fine.
Right.
I'm
Right.
fine.
Right. Right.
But just like better eating habits, better healthy habits.
Yeah.
I hope to I hope to not have a fascist in the White House and not think about it. Not think about that.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Really hope, because I'm gonna tell you, trying to like draw little cartoons every day and raise a child while there's a fascist in the White House is kind of stressful. I'm gonna just be real. It's a big mental toll to
Yeah.
like, because your brain is compartmentalized into like, oh God, everything is burning,
Yeah.
and then my little guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it's burning. Oh my little guys. It's just,
Literal left brain,
yeah,
right brain more than anything else.
yeah, and I don't know. Like, I guess I hope that maybe 5 years time there will just be more Three Tomes content, whether it's like 2 or 3 episodes, or I don't know. Maybe a blessing will come my way, and I don't know. Maybe I might pitch it. Who knows? We'll see.
Hey, there you go. Well, I mean, a lot can happen in 5 years. Trust me. Look at where you were 5 years ago compared to where you are right now. A lot has
Yeah.
changed. I mean, you got.
Oh God.
I was gonna say you got married. You had a kid.
Yeah. I'll be 37 in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I know,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, let's get off of that amount of existential dread for a quick moment. As we start to wind down the interview, Bre, I just got one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, you are deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion at this point. Like, there's nothing that's going to drag you away from this no matter what. How important is art, not only for you, but for the world as a whole?
I think art is an essential, because art is how we tell our stories. Art is how we communicate. You know? Like, if there is no art, then, and like, an art can be, and like, art isn't just drawings, like art
Right.
is like the little trinkets you make. Art is the little scribbles on the wall that you do. Um, Art is the the books that you write. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all different different needs out, and it's so that is that like, it's important that we make art. It's so important that we make art with human hands. Fuck
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah, trust me.
Um,
You're going to hear no one scream that louder than me, all right?
like, I don't. I I will accept maybe like a tool in a program that is not like generative AI, but like something that might make like something like tedious like better, like an auto generate mat that will like draw like in the background of like the color. Like that's the button that I recommend to people to press Storyboard Pro. That's kind of like an automated thing, like something like that is like an accessory to help you, but it's not like doing the whole movie with like weird, I don't know, like e- un, like emotionless acting, like and
Emotionless
also
acting.
poison and poisoning the like the environment, like that shit out of my
I mean,
face.
come on. What I mean, it's very realistic. I mean, look at how they do hands. It's just so perfectly more than anything.
God, I watched like the first 5 minutes of that weird AI Little Mermaid movie, and I was
Oh
just
my god.
like this. My face was like, I was like, ugh, the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all right, let's just see it. I wonder how, like, can it, like, is it that bad?
It's that bad.
It was that bad. Not like, is it that bad giving AI the benefit of the doubt, but I'm like, oh, maybe like, it's probably gonna look bad, but I wasn't expecting it to look that bad.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, y'all, please,
Yeah.
stop. But yeah, like, art is just art made from the human heart by hands is an essential to it's just an essential for the world, I think, for us to keep telling our stories, for us to emotionally connect with each other too,
Mm-hmm.
because like art is therapeutic. I mean, that's why we have art therapists. That's why like people recommend like playing music or painting to calm down.
Yeah.
Art is
Absolutely.
so important.
Absolutely. I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself. Um,
Yippee.
Bre, that is all the questions that I have for you. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm gonna show you a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. Um, look, I've already said over and 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 over again how much I love the three tomes. I cannot get enough of it. I really just the character interactions that you've developed, like the fun art style, the possibilities for what the future could hold. I am so excited with the three tomes, and I will. I know this is specifically on Indie Animation Day, but whether it's the day that this comes out or any other day, I'm going to recommend it to people like to watch, because sincerely, it is a good fun time if you want something a little fun, a little different, a little weird, because it's good to see that weird stuff get out there, and especially for you getting the chance to sit down and chat with you, hear your story. Like, I already had a lot of love and respect for what you do and all the stuff you've been able to put out there. But like, that respect is now like through the roof. The roof is gone. There's a hole. I think the rain is starting to come in.
Oh no.
But regardless,
put the umbrella up.
I was like, I think I have an umbrella somewhere. No. No, but it also is like, I at the end of the day, like, sincerely, like, I appreciate you being able to put yourself out there on so many different, levels, whether it be, again, early on, once you moved to LA, getting yourself out there to get into the industry, to the podcasting and, the advocacy that you were able to do, to here you are right now, like, getting yourself out there with this concept that is so near and dear to you and could end up being near and dear to so many other people. I appreciate you taking that path and really going forth and putting that passion on full display. It's something I can't help but love and admire, and it makes me excited, not just for what's next with the three tomes, but whatever's next for what you're going to be doing, because I know it's going to be absolutely sensational every single time. The long and the short of it is, Bre, thank you for what you do. Keep up the incredible work, and just know that I am one of, hundreds, thousands, who knows how many more at this point, that loves what you do and is going to be rooting for you every single step of the way. So please keep up the incredible work.
Thank you so much. It's just I truly feel just honored and thankful that you wanted to talk to me about my work and my journey and about the pilot. Like again, these little guys mean a lot to me. Telling Tammy's story about change and like grief and like just learning to be okay with change in your life through like a magical and romantic lens. It means a lot, and just showcasing Black characters in this space when we're normally not.
Exactly.
So thank you for giving me the opportunity to like talk more about it.
No, absolutely. Trust me, I will give you that opportunity a million times over if I have to, because I can tell that you really want to get this out there and you want people to see it. So if you want people to see the three tomes or just see more about you and what you got going on, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and what you got going on?
Sure. You can find the Three Tomes pilot on YouTube. Literally, if you just search the Three Tomes, or like pilot animatic, you'll find it. But it's on my YouTube channel, which is at Bre Animator. I wonder if I should just turn it into at Three Tomes. I don't know, because that's just what it was before. We'll see. You can find me on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Tumblr. At the Three Tomes for like the project itself. But if you want like me personally, I'm also at Bre Animator on those socials. And on Instagram it's the same thing. If you can look up Bre Animator, spelled a little bit differently. I'm sure you'll link it.
Oh yeah, no,
and because there's some random white woman that has Bre Animator as like their Instagram.
It's usually
so
how
I had to spell it. So I had to do Bre Animator, but with 2 A's on Instagram. Okay. So it's just like a little annoying and off.
That's fair.
But yeah, Instagram is Bre Animator, and then also the Three Tomes, and then TikTok is just Bre Animator.
I'll be sure to have all those links and then some in the description below, especially the Three Tomes pilot. That is the first link that you guys are going to be seeing when you scroll down, all right? Like, trust me, you guys.
Yeah.
I am going to be saying this. I will repeat myself like I am the most broken record possible. Go watch the Three Tomes. Please. It is a great pilot, and more people need to see it.
Thank you.
I realize at this point there is one very important question that I did not ask beforehand, and I feel so ashamed for not even asking this up at this point. Team Darius or Team Yogaya?
I cannot answer that
Oh, come
question. I'm
on!
sorry. I am team Tammy has two hands. That's what I
Yes,
I am team Tammy has two hands.
oh,
And
Jesus.
that's all I'm going to say.
Well,
I
look,
can't.
I will say definitively for me, I am team.
All ships are valid.
Well,
All ships are valid.
look, I'm saying for me, I am team Sia. To the day I die, I love Sia to death.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sia.
All right, all right.
I love like her sassiness. I love just like how blunt she could be at times or whatnot. Like I cannot get enough of them, and I want to see more of Sia. I am excited for that.
Well, you definitely will. Also, Sia's pronouns are they them.
They
They are
them.
they are not.
My bad. Okay, my
No, it's
bad.
okay.
I apologize for
It,
that.
it's it is all right. I realize I did not write anything like where Tammy was referring to Sia as they. It's
Yeah.
usually just calling out their name or like just having a conversation.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I
So
mean, this is the pilot. You're trying to make sure that people at least knew their name first and foremost. So,
yeah. Yeah. If you I have character bios floating around, so that's where a lot of
okay,
that information is. So
okay. But regardless, Team Sia all the way for me. Love you, Darius. Love you, Yogaya. But Team C is for me. All right. Um,
well, I guess a little bit of spoiler content that I cut from the pilot.
oh.
I had to take it out just because it was like not really relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like taking up too much time. Tammy and Sia did date each other for like a hot minute,
Oh.
and then they were like, I just kind of like being your friend. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, yeah,
It's like
let's do that.
It's like I think we could be cool. Like I think it would just be cool if we were just friends. Like, yeah, you know what? That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
That's a nice little dynamic. That's something I didn't even realize. I love that more than anything else. More lore for the people out there wondering.
I was inspired by I don't know where they are now because it was somebody I knew in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew these two. Well, I knew this girl who had a girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really good friends prior
Okay.
to dating each other. But then after about a week, she told me that they weren't dating anymore, and I'm like, "Oh, are you guys okay?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah, we're fine. We just realized that we should just still be friends
Oh,
because
there you
like
go.
we tried to kiss, and then we were like, nah."
That's valid. That is mood.
Like it's like you cute, like you real cute, but I think I just kind of like homie vibes.
There
And it's
you
like,
go.
yeah, sometimes that's valid.
Homie. Hey, sometimes homie vibes is all you need when it comes to someone. So,
Hmm.
um, do you have any final words before we do sign off?
Um, do I? I guess just gratitude. I think I again like I feel like I feel like a broken record that I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful for my team. Um, every aspect, animation, design, comp. Like, gosh, Jason really came through on the color comp on the animation for that. Like
Yeah.
he really made that sing, and just like uh, animatic editing. Like Man of a Thousand Thoughts. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Like the music, Kiki and Chilixion. Thank you so much for a wonderful ending credit song. Kylie for the wonderful illustrations at the end to give me my Fushigi Yugi ending homage that I wanted. Yeah, I fucking love Fushigi Yugi. It's also got problems and it's kind of messy, but
It's a
the
product of its
shoujo
time.
product of its time, guys. Sometimes old shoujo can be a little messy, but um, but yeah, literally, just I just can't thank everybody enough for how wonderful they've been, how everyone's kindness. Like sorry, I'm getting a little like teary
No, no,
eyed
no.
just
It's
because
okay.
I I didn't know if this was going to like if people would like it. I didn't know if it was gonna resonate with people, but like just the kindness from everyone working on it, the kindness from people that have seen it so far. has been really overwhelming. The support from my husband, who has been like my rock every step of the way,
Mm-hmm.
just helping me be creative during a really like hard time last year for me too.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just really happy, and I hope that I get to. I not I hope like I really want to make more, and I hope that when I do make more, it still touches people's hearts, and I get to like continue to share that with everybody. So yeah, that's all I have really. Just thank you, thank you everybody. Um, yeah, and thank you for letting me come on and talk about it.
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely. No, trust me. This was an episode that I've been wanting to do for a while. Just wanted to find like the right time to do it, and especially with this being out there, and genuinely the way that, even though it may not be the biggest audience, it may not be the widest audience or whatnot, the audience that has been able to get to, and especially hearing from you, the reactions that people have been able to have from it or whatnot, I think it's a job well done, and I think it's very well worth it, not for what you have done, but even for what's to come, because I could tell with the incredible team that you have behind you, more than anything else, and the community you do have, that's more than ready to help you out in a harsh notice if you need it or whatnot. we're,
Hmm.
we're ready and we're excited more than anything else.
Thank you so much, and I guess just one final thank you to my creative partner Waymond. Like
Yeah.
I we started BNA together. He was one of my first friends when I moved out here to LA,
Mm-hmm.
and I just do really feel like he is like a brother to me, and he feels like I feel like I'm my best creative self whenever I work with him, and he is an amazing person, and I'm just so thankful for him too.
There you go.
That's all. All
No,
right, I'm
no,
I'm,
no,
I'm like crying over
no, no.
here.
I could tell. No, look, hey, look. There's a lot of good emotions going on. All right, I mean, a glass case of
Mhm.
emotions.
Oh God, that is a reference I haven't thought about
I know,
before.
right? With that, I think that is wonderful words for you to end on. With that, all I have left to say is, for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, pick me up in the car you drove when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I greatly do appreciate it. Sincerely, the conversation that I had with Bre was just so much fun, more than anything else. Bre, if you've gotten up to this point, thank you so much for even taking the time to do this in the first place. This was an absolute blast of a chat, and it just has me excited for Indie Animation Day once again. Indie Animation Day is always one of the most exciting times, not just for this podcast, but for just me in general. You know how much I like to praise and hype up creativity and telling your story and all that kind of stuff. And, well, with what Bre is doing with the 3 tomes and what everyone's going to be doing as they're releasing stuff, it's just a lot of fun. And it has me excited for all the new stuff, because I know we're all going to have that one show or that one series or that one announcement that's going to have us excited more than anything else. And I hope today's episode was that. If not, hopefully can lead to. I mean, I'm not joking when I say, genuinely, please take the time to go watch the 3 tomes if you haven't. Like, I've said it a million times throughout this episode, but like, it's such a fun and fantastic little concept, and more than anything else, the fact that after all these years, Bre was able to make it a reality with such an incredible crew behind. I mean, I could go on for ages, but like, legitimately, it's a fun time, and I sincerely cannot wait for more at the end of the day. And I hope that that enthusiasm that I share for this is the same enthusiasm you guys have for your favorite indie animated project. Sincerely, whatever you can to show that love and support back to your creators or whatnot, believe me when I say it is so worth it at the end of the day. I cannot tell you the amount of people that I've brought on this podcast that, are working hard on their craft, and it's very hard for them to realize just how much people do actually love it aside from themselves. It's hard for them to realize that, there's an actual audience out there that wants to see this. I whether it be the Three Tomes, whether it be the Amazing Digital Circus or the Gaslight District or Tally Ho, what was it? There was the one that caught my attention. It's like Video Game Disaster Club or something along the lines of that, and I feel horrible for not remembering their name off the top of my head. Regardless, Sally Mountain Peak, Towards Galaxy's End. I mean, I'm struggling with names right now, but that's also because I'm very tired with doing this. Regardless, I think at the end of the day, like I said millions times before, on whether it be today or every other day, show that love and support to the creative people that are doing such incredible stuff. They absolutely deserve it, and then some.